Hello, it is Thursday, November 8th. And I'll tell you what, today's show is a good one. I think you're really going to like it. I got a conversation with Pat Anger, the Iowa Hawkeye who turned George Kittle's life around from the last episode. A little follow-up there. You're going to want to hear what this American has to say about life. He's one of the most absurd humans ever. We have a little throwback story with him as well. We do some throwback music because it is Throwback Thursday with Nick Moraldo later. There's a conversation that when I walked into the studio, the microphones were on, and Connor, myself, and Foxy had a full college basketball conversation this morning. Back. Very happy that it was recorded, and we're caught in the middle of some beautiful Zion Williamson conversation.
He's a monster.
You're going to enjoy that. There's quick hits with Diggs when it comes to football. It's a 10-minute one-stop shop for all things you need to know in the NFL. And also, we are coming to you live from the MyBookie.ag studio. Sure, watching football is fun, but it's more entertaining when you have some action on the games. Guys, you've heard me talking about this for weeks, and some of you are still on the sidelines. Whether you're an expert or a rookie, you should be betting at MyBookie. If you're the kind of guy that likes to bet a little and win a lot, like playing the number roulettes or slot, you can create a big parlay. It's really a fun way to play. You pick 3 bets that you can win, and if you hit all 3, you just turn 100 into 600, man. I wish I could have rhymed that for you. There's so much to bet on. College basketball is off and running. Duke seems to be a lock, and a triple lock for the rest of the year. They look like an NBA team.
Yep.
We go on a 20-minute rant later that you're going to very much enjoy. There's so much to bet on, whether it's football, NHL, NBA, college football. Politics season's over, but you can still get some reality TV gambling in, and it's all at MyBookie, which is the only bet I know that you'll be happy with all year. I recommend these guys because I really trust them. MyBookie has been in business for years. They've got great online reviews, and their mobile site is very easy to use. Sign up this week, and MyBookie will give you a 50% deposit bonus to jumpstart your bankroll. It's a great way to bank even more money when you win. Also, make sure you follow at BetMyBookie on Twitter. They personally respond to every single mention in DM, not to mention they've given away more than $10,000 in free money to their followers this football season. You'll be the first to know as soon as new odds and props are posted. Don't miss out. One of the best weeks to bet on sports is this week. Log on to MyBookie right now and use promo code PAT and get 50% deposit bonus. That's promo code PAT. You play, you win, you get paid. Gambling used to be complicated and confusing. MyBookie made it very simple.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of things used to be complicated and confusing. Podcasting used to be, lighting the studio used to be, Evan Foxy figured it out. And also ticket buying used to be a very complicated and confusing situation until our friends at SeatGeek made it the easiest thing to do for you to go enjoy an evening with your friends, family, or solo. Whether it's comedy, theater, sports, any other type of live event, SeatGeek is the greatest ticket buying app on planet Earth because they scan all the other sites to make sure you are getting the best bang for your buck, the best ticket that you could possibly get for your budget. SeatGeek does all the work for you, and they don't catfish you either. The ticket they tell you you're getting is the ticket you receive. You're alive, but are you living? Go live and experience something live. Maybe take a lady out. Ooh, maybe take a friend out. Whoa, maybe take your family out. Hey, holiday season, let's go enjoy life a little bit and go see something live and in person. Because you're not just buying a ticket, you're buying a memory and a story. And the only place to buy that at is at SeatGeek. Use promo code PAT on your first purchase and get $10 off. Use promo code McAfee and get $20 off your first purchase. SeatGeek, their greatest ticket buying app on earth. Let's get to the show.
What's up, man?
Hey, Pat, sorry, I was yelling at somebody there in the background.
Don't you ever apologize to me, all right? You understand?
Hey, listen, I don't need you wasting any of your good shit right now, okay? Just wait for a second.
Oh, fuck, I'm looking at a fucking tax return. I don't know what the hell I'm doing.
Stop. You're a life coach now. It's a big day.
It is. It's a big deal. You know, my salary just increased quite a bit, so I'm pretty excited about it.
All right, let's get to it. You ready? Lady,
yeah, man.
You can't see. I was about to give you an intro right there, and you just
You got any pants on?
I have pants on. Yeah. Where are you? Are you in your house? In your room? Where are you?
No, I'm at work.
Where?
Working hard, dude.
In a
all
bank?
Day long.
You're in a bank right now?
Yeah, man. We're in a credit union. Don't get us confused with those pesky, slimy banks. We're a credit union. We're for the people here.
Okay. Do you have a button down on and like khakis on? That's what I'm imagining.
No, I got jeans and a pullover type deal.
Well, I guess it's out.
Cats aren't out though.
I guess it's out in Iowa, so that's probably what they would like you at your credit union to be a little relatable. Put the jeans on.
Yeah, I just got to cover up the tats. Just don't want to scare anybody.
Those American tats, though, are something that is absolutely beautiful.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
I was thinking about getting an American flag tattoo on my arm. I thought about you a lot.
You should.
Well, I think you have the best one. It ties in the best. It looks like it's very patriotic, but it also looks natural.
It feels natural too. My problem was I just got a bunch of random tattoos, so then I had to figure out how to blend them all together so I don't look super white trash, but I still kind of look a little bit white trash, so I fit in at family reunions and stuff.
Yeah, because you don't want to sell out your people.
Absolutely, man. No, definitely not.
Especially now that you're a big corporate credit union guy.
Yeah.
Didn't you get a prison tat? Don't you have an at-home tattoo somewhere on you?
I got a what?
Didn't you get a prison tat, like an at-home tattoo gun?
Yeah. My brother got my older brother that's older than me. He got a tattoo gun, and he went to town on the kitchen table one night.
How old were you when that happened?
I was 8. No, this was when I was in college.
Was this in the first 2 Was this in the first 2 years when you weren't playing? You were drinking too much, fighting people, and being an asshole, as George Kittle called it.
Yeah, that's pretty much. Yeah, I was doing a lot of stuff. I didn't leave out the don't get tattoos because you gotta get tatted up.
I don't know. George Kittle is tatted up, by the way. I think he is.
He's
tatted.
tatted.
Yeah.
He's tatted and he's spatted. White boy tatted. White boy spatted. Man, he's looking good.
You Iowa people are just a whole nother breed of human. You know that.
You mean that? That's a good thing, right?
Yes. I don't think and I talked about this about Mitch King, AJ Eads. Now there's George Kittle character, Dallas Clark, Bob Sanders never talked to me. I don't think he talked to anybody, but it seems as if the Iowa people are just good people.
I appreciate that. We're pretty down to earth. We're pretty much down for whatever. We're going to work hard. We're going to fight. And we like to drink our beer and we like to have a good time, but we also like to work hard and play hard. So, yeah, I was a good spot, man. There's good people here. I'd say Indiana's good too. I don't talk a lot about how much I enjoyed my time in Indy. I really like the people there. It's a lot like Iowa.
Do you reflect fondly upon your time in the NFL?
Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of good times there. I think about it quite a bit. Especially when you're at home watching the games and you're seeing guys that you know and that you played with, and yeah, man, it was fun. And we had a lot of good times, in that field, especially, slapping Snow's ass on, out there on punt and him getting all pissed. And
I feel like we did have a good time. Our team had a good rapport in there.
For as much as we lost, we had a good time.
What's the highlight of your NFL career?
What'd you say?
What's the highlight of your NFL career?
Oh, man, highlight?
Yeah.
Playing with you, other than that.
I respect that.
I don't know, man. I tell you what, we had fun. And, first couple of years were really good. And, I played pretty well. And I try to remember those years, those good times. And, the last couple of years kind of sucked as far as getting hurt and all that. And, but just playing hard and and making plays and making tackles and celebrating and dicking around, having a good time. Those were pretty good times, man.
Do you remember whenever you told George Kittle that exact life lesson? Because whenever he said it, I was like, "Oh, that sounds like it's straight out of Pat Anger's mouth." And he was like, "Yeah, Pat probably doesn't remember this. So it was at 6 a.m. It was a 15-second conversation. I'm sure he'll never remember." Did you remember ever saying that, or whenever he said that story the other day on the show, you're like, "Oh, good for me."
No, actually, you know what I do? Because I was back there, because I want to get in strength conditioning, so I was back there learning from Coach Doyle. And, I was in there on the lifts and, walk around like I was all tough and, all that, the strength conditioning stuff that you do. Mm-hmm. And he came over and was like, "Hey, what changed for you?" And
yeah, because I didn't know that. Hold on, though. By the way, I didn't know this, that your first 2 years at Iowa, you weren't shit. I didn't know that. I figured you were a stud.
No, I didn't start until like the third or fourth game my junior year. Really?
So you were just a practice squad All-American there for a while?
Pretty much. I was pretty much like a bar drinking All-American, yeah. I always worked hard, and I always did. I always worked hard in the weight room and on the field and stuff. But I'd burn the candle at both ends, and I wasn't good enough to where I could balance it both. And I had a lot of injuries. Yeah, so my first 2 years, Abdul Hodge and Chad Greenway were the linebackers, or my first year, Abdul Hodge and Chad Greenway, those guys went to the NFL. Those guys are awesome. Greenway played for like 100 years, made 1 billion tackles, and then the next 2 years there were 2 other guys that were very good, Mike Humpel and Mike Klinkenberg. So, I came in right away, and I'm like, well, hey, I'm just going to hang out and have a good time, and I'll play, when I'm a junior and, all that stuff. So I didn't prepare like I was a starter right away, like I should have. And, it kind of, in the sophomore year, like everybody on the team got hurt, except for me and a true freshman, and they're like, hey, and they were trying to figure out who they needed to put in, and instead of putting me in, they put in this true freshman, burned this true freshman's red shirt. So after that, I was going to quit. I was like, screw this, I'm going to join the military, kill a bunch of Taliban, and, be done with it. And, instead of being like, it's everybody else's fault, I'm not playing, this is bullshit, I'm getting screwed over, I looked myself in the mirror and was like, hey, dumbass, why don't you fix what you're doing and, start doing things the right way? And that's kind of what I did. And, that's kind of how what I told George is like, it sucks not playing, but you kind of got to look at yourself and look in the mirror and say, hey, this is what I got to change. And for me, I had to make Iowa football the most important thing in my life. And once I started doing that, that's when I started having success.
Holy shit. Hey, that was a real statement you just said. That was a real life lesson you just delivered right there.
You like that, man?
Yeah.
I'm a life coach now. I charge by the hour.
What's your rate?
What do you got?
Are you getting into professional wrestling right now?
I did do a show up in Iowa City, and I got talked into doing a tag team match, so I'll be doing that. But I'm very fat, and very out of shape, and I was in the ring for maybe a couple minutes, maybe like a minute at that show, and I was exhausted.
Did you?
I was smoked, man.
Did you get the win?
Well, an Iowa guy was in there, and he got jumped by these 2 guys, Vicious and Delicious, real dirty guys, real cheap, bad guys. So I had to jump in the ring, and I'm like, hey, man, get off my boy.
Yeah.
So they acted like they were leaving the ring, and then they jumped me, so I had to whoop their ass.
Of course you did, Pat. You're not just going to take it standing, take it laying down from Vicious and Delicious.
You're damn right. I'm not going to just sit there and let these dudes try to mess with me. I'm going to whoop their ass, and that's what I did. We tossed them out of the ring, and now they got a little tag team match, and they're going to get the boot to them because I whooped them. I was like on 4 years of Busch Light. Now I'm on 2 weeks of clean eating. They're pretty screwed.
Oh, what if you become a professional wrestler? What if you fall in love with what you're about to do with Vicious and Delicious, and all of a sudden this is like you're the new Stone Cold Steve Austin?
I tell you what, I think I got about 1 match in me, and I'm good. Those guys work hard. Their travel schedule's ridiculous. I don't know if I got it in me. And then you can't swear, which is hard. Obviously, I don't know how they do that. I don't know how when you're announcing, I don't know how you don't swear all the time.
I'll tell you what, we have like 7 rehearsals before that show starts, and they try to get it all out of me before it even starts. And then when it goes live, there's somebody in my ear that's like, remember, this is a family show. And then it's like, we're on. It's like, it's almost a running joke. Like, am I going to drop a fuck on the WWE network? It's a wild scene of it. There's a lot of money in it though. I think you'd be a good character.
It'd be fun, man. It would definitely be a good time. But yeah, I mean, you're like me. Like, we grew up watching that stuff. We grew up loving it. And to even just be in the ring just for a little bit, like, is like a dream, even if it's it's just a small show. That's like what that's like what we wanted to do growing up. I didn't want to be a football player. I wanted to be Hulk Hogan, I mean, that's what we grew up watching. And, it was cool being in the ring because it brought me back to playing. And, it brought back those same emotions, which was pretty fun,
Look at you, a little nostalgia, a little glory days in there. By the way, you're 100% right. I did grow up wanting to be a professional wrestler, and I'm 1-0. I took on a guy named War Pig coming out of college before I got drafted down in an armory down in Charleston, West Virginia. I'm undefeated. Who's next? Don't know if you ever heard that tagline. It's my tagline in wrestling. Who's next? I'm still undefeated.
You're taking on the world, man. I like it.
I'm trying.
I like it.
I'm not a life coach, though, like you. Like George Kittle might go on to be an all-pro, like literally a consummate all-pro. Mm-hmm. And he says He is on record of saying that he's excited that Travis Kelce follows him. And then on the complete opposite side of that, the man that turned his complete life around was Pat Anger.
Who just told him not to be an asshole. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. What's crazy is I'm still an asshole, and I still drink a lot, and I don't sleep very well. So, I mean, I don't know. My life's a mess right now.
Yeah, but you're retired and you're working in banks. Sorry, credit unions.
Credit unions, yeah. We're for the members here, Pat. We're not all these filthy banks. We're here for the members. We're community. We're good people here.
Do you watch any NFL at all on the weekends?
I do. You know, this was the first year. So I coached high school a couple of years when I got out, and this is the first year I'm not coaching. And this is the first year, like, I really, truly enjoyed just sitting down and watching football. I'm really having a good time with it, and it's a great year to watch it, man. Those running backs are unreal. You got, Hunt and Gurley and all those guys. I mean, those guys are just phenomenal. I've probably had more fun watching football than I have, my whole life. Because, when you're playing,
it's a job.
You're doing it all day, and the last thing you want to do when you get home is freaking watch football. But now I really, truly enjoy it. It's been a really fun year.
Do you watch the linebackers heavily? Like, are you, from watching all those years of film, do you just naturally draw yourself to watching the linebackers?
Sometimes I'll catch myself like being like, oh, they're in this coverage, or the offense is going to do this. But for the most part, because that gets exhausting, and for the most part, I just like to watch the ball like every other idiot and just kind of like enjoy it. I don't want to get too caught up into trying to decipher what the hell they're doing. But yeah, I mean,
Jason
sometimes
Witten,
I'll get caught up watching linebackers. There's some good linebackers out there.
Jason Witten tries his best to decipher what's going on. That motherfucker ain't got no clue. I don't know how he was so good in the league. He got no clue what's going on in that field.
Well, you know why he was really good? Because dudes like me were guarding him. That's why he was good. I'd be looking back at Antoine Bethea and be like, "Hey, what am I supposed to do?" He'd be like, "Turn around, dumbass! You're supposed to guard that guy." Oh, okay, all right.
Jason Witten's telling these stories at his family about how he roasted this guy who is the leader in NFL sacks and currently the tag team champion of Iowa, Pat Anger.
Yeah, man, it's a crazy life. It's a crazy ride, man. It's just, I'm here. I'm encouraging people's life. I'm the only people. My only clients are all pro tight ends. And not to mention, I'm a tag team champ. I mean, it's a wild ride, and I'll get you the best rate you can get on a mortgage.
Are you going to work forever?
No, man. I'm gonna ride this life coach out for a while, and then probably just retire right off into the sunset, buy some 6-shooters, get a horse, and just go out west.
Didn't you say you and your friends in the off season took a trip to Tombstone or something? What? Didn't you? You had a friend who was in the military, came back. You guys went out into like the desert and like shot a bunch of guns. Was that you? Am I?
Yeah. So when my buddy would get back from Afghanistan, we got an RV up in Minnesota, because that's where one of my other buddies is living. So we got an RV up in Minnesota. We drove all the way down to Tombstone, Arizona. And the last thing you probably want to do with a guy who's just getting back from war is lock him in an RV for 24 hours with a bunch of booze. It was probably not the best idea, but it was a blast. We had a good time, went down to Tombstone, met some cowboys, went to shoot some guns, and probably wanted from the police down there, but we got out alive.
That's absurd. People spend their off season getting married, traveling to the beach. Pat Anger hopped in an RV in Minnesota with a veteran, drove to the desert, shot a bunch of guns, drove back.
They'd always get us like, we'd be leaving the bar at like 2 a.m. or whatever, and there'd always be some like psychic down there. So we'd pay them a bunch of money, and they'd have us talk to like these old like cowboy spirits and stuff. It's a pretty wild ride. So we talked to. You ever watched that Tombstone movie?
Doc Holliday.
We talked to Doc. We talked to all those guys, man. It's pretty wild. It's pretty crazy.
What did Doc have to say? Anything awesome?
He respects us. He likes us. And I think if we paid them a little bit more, he probably would respect us a little bit more as well.
I have a question. Is this something I could go do? I can go to this old town in the middle of the desert and live like I live in a Western movie?
Dude, you should go to Tombstone, man. It's awesome. Absolutely, anybody can go to it. It's an old Western town, man. It's awesome.
What do you do?
An hour and a half away from Tucson.
And it's like there's saloons and duels and shit?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's guns getting shot off there all the time, which was also, you got a guy who's just come back from war and there's random guns shots going off. It's probably not the best idea either.
All right. You get back to your taxes, man.
When are we going to Tombstone?
I'll get the RV, bro.
All right, perfect.
Hey, who's going to Super Bowl?
Oh, God, I don't know. I tell you what, I like the Rams. I like the Chiefs. But I feel like the Pats are going to come on strong. They're probably going to end up winning it again.
Did Tom
Brock's
Brady
gonna get healthy?
Did you ever get an interception on Tom Brady?
No, but he threw a lot of touchdowns on me, which wasn't very nice.
You got to pick off Peyton Manning, though, right?
Yeah, but that really wasn't anything I did. It was, I think Walden tackled him, and then it just kind of fell into my lap, and everybody's like, "Get down, you slow ass."
Did they make fun of you for being a Caucasian there, or just slow ass?
No, they didn't. I mean, usually they do, but it was mainly just get down and don't ruin this game for us like you already almost have.
Didn't you got a pick from Aaron Rodgers, too, didn't you?
No, I got a pick from Aaron Rodgers scored a touchdown on me, but I got a pick from Hasselbeck.
Oh yes, and when he was at Tennessee, and then he joined the team.
Yeah.
Is there a conversation there between you two or no? Like when Trindon Holiday, after my tackle against him, he came and worked out for the Colts like a few weeks later, and he wouldn't talk to me. Like I wanted to go talk to him, and he wouldn't talk to me. He was like, stay off on his own. Hasselbeck.
Really?
Yeah, Hasselbeck. There was a Grigson, whenever he got there, he wiped out all the pictures of anything that happened before he got there, all the captain's pictures, everything like that. He put up only new pictures from new guys. And 15 out of the 20 pictures were either Charlie Whitehurst or Matt Hasselbeck getting tackled, and they both ended up on our team. And he would just have to walk by those photos every day. It was awesome. It was absolutely awesome.
No, Matt's a very humble guy, and he's a good dude. He didn't, we're fine. I mean,
he threw a lot.
He's a good enough player, made enough money. I don't think he really cares that much about it.
How about he's on ESPN right now? Do you watch any of our former teammates that are on the TV and judge them at all?
Yeah, I think those guys do good, man. I think Matt does awesome. I wish he would be on more games. He does a good job, and then Reggie does good on TV as well. Dan Orlowski, unreal. He's awesome as well. I mean, those guys do it right.
Did you ever talk to Reggie?
They need to get you on there.
Yeah. Do you ever talk to Reggie?
Yeah, I mean, I know he hates you.
He never
like
talked.
Most everybody else.
Man, I don't understand why he never talked. 8 years. We're teammates for 7 years. Not a one conversation. How's that happen?
Weren't you stuck on a plane with like next to him once and he didn't say a word to you?
He was 2 rows behind me. And I was like woken up by him talking in such a jovial manner with this old white guy who I thought was his agent. Nope, he just met him. Had this full conversation with the guy. I'm like, yeah, I've showered with you like 4 times.
No, Reggie was cool. He talked to me mainly because I was hurt all the time, so we were in the training room together. So you just didn't get hurt enough. You got to get hurt more. That's how you get it in with those guys.
Reggie does well on TV though. I think he's good on TV.
He does a good job, man. He's a good dude.
Freeney also good on TV.
Freeney can talk. He's smooth.
He is, and he's one of the best to ever play football too.
Yeah, it helps. Jeff Saturday does a good job as well. Great eyes. Beautiful smile, nice hair.
Skinny. He's much skinnier than you or I right now.
Yeah, I'm pretty fat, man. Pretty fat.
Are you really, or is this like you just being hard on yourself?
I don't know. I mean, I try to keep my shirt on as much as I can. But, I don't know. I'm probably like, 235 or so, 240.
I'm 240 right now as well.
You're a beast.
I'm trying, man. I'm trying to get in that ring.
Do you need a life coach or a tag team partner?
All right, well,
or a mortgage?
Listen, we're going to end this with a life coaching speech from you to me, bub.
You need the 5 pillars of life that I live by?
Yep, absolutely. Right now, please.
All right, well, maybe 4. Let me see what I can think of. Don't crap where you eat.
Okay, don't crap where I eat. Like dogs. Got it.
Keep deodorant in your car.
Deodorant in the car. You never know. Okay.
Never trust a born-again Christian.
Because they did something that was bad to become that.
Exactly. Don't ever trust them. Don't you ever let another man squirt water in your mouth.
You had a tweet 2 weeks ago. You said, the league is filled with guys that I like and then guys who let other men squirt water into their mouth. It was incredible.
It's the worst, man. I don't just grab the water bottle like a real man. And then here's the last one. I'd say don't get a neck tattoo unless you got $5 million.
Neck tat, $5 million. Got it. Okay, so we don't crap where you eat. Deodorant in the car. Never. I didn't write that one down. 4, don't let guys squirt water in your mouth. Neck tattoo, minimum $5 million.
Never trust a born-again Christian.
Never trust a born-again Christian.
Yeah, that's a true. Let me write that one down. Because you remember that guy we had, the D lineman, the white D lineman that read the Bible every single day?
Yeah, that was really scary looking.
See, I had
a different one.
Yes, him. He was very scary, but he read the Bible literally like in the hot tub, in the cold tub, in the training room, in the hotel, on the bus. I thought he made a deal with God. Like, if you get me out of this, I will be the most religious human of all time. I thought for sure that happened. I'm like, this guy killed a guy. For sure he killed a guy.
The complete opposite of Zibikowski, which is why me and Zibby were probably better friends.
Zibby, what? Do you talk to him now?
You know what? He came back into town. One of my buddies who we talked about before, who had a heart attack and ended up was in a coma for a while. We were in a parade, and Zibby called me. He's like, "Hey, I want to meet him." So he drove down from Chicago the morning of 4th of July and came down just to shake his hand and say hello, and then drove back up. That's pretty cool, man.
How is Zibby?
He's doing good, man. I think he's going to be boxing or do MMA or something.
I think he's clean, right? I think he had a whole 30 for 30 about how, or maybe not a 30 for 30. There was some story that came. First day I met him coming into training camp, sitting in the lobby of Anderson. It was probably 11:30 a.m. first day of training camp. He was on his 3rd Guinness beer. It was one of the most impressive things I've ever seen in my entire life. I walked in. And he's like, "Oh, what's up? My name's Tom or whatever." I'm like, "Oh, what's up, Zip? My name's Pat." And he was like, "There's 2 crumpled up Guinness cans next to him, and he's holding a 3rd." I'm like, "This is the first day of training camp." I'm like, "This dude is on another fucking level here. This guy is an animal." He was a good player too.
Yeah, he was good. And I think like he used to always go out like before games when we were away and be like, "Hey, Pat, you want to come out there?" I'm like, "No, dude, I got enough problems." But, he's doing well, man. Tom's a good dude. He's a good guy, and, obviously he had, some demons, but he's doing good, man. I'm happy for Tom. You got to get him on the show.
I know. That's what I'm, in my head, that's what I'm thinking right now. I like Tom a lot. I like Zibikowski a lot. He's a good dude. I liked him a lot.
Great dude.
He was a lunatic, though, for sure. Like a full-on, he was an undefeated boxer whenever he was playing for the Colts. He had a fight in college in Madison Square Garden when he was in Notre Dame. He went out there and knocked the guy out in the first round, got like $50,000 from it. He was a college football player.
He was a Golden Gloves champ, wasn't he?
Yeah, I think he's like an undefeated boxer, like an actual undefeated boxer, which would be.
He's badass.
Yeah, it'd be nice to have that just hanging in the mantle. By the way,
it's better to be an amateur tag team champ.
I think that's just you kind of spinning that life coach thing for yourself there. I think you just kind of. All right, man.
All right, Kid Rock.
Hey, Kid Rock still your favorite musician, or have you moved on?
I like Kid Rock, Johnny Cash, Merle Haggard, Waylon Jennings.
What a man you are.
I'd tell you what, Eric Church is solid.
I don't know much about Eric Church.
He's cool.
Huh. Well, see you later, Pat.
All right, man. Hey, love you, brother. Have a good time, man. We'll see you.
You too. You're the best. See you, Pat.
See you, man.
That's the most ridiculous conversation I think I've ever had in my entire life.
That was good.
How about him just, we get back into OTAs or whatever, and it's kind of like the first day of school where everybody's like, "Oh, what you doing this summer? What you doing this summer?"
Right.
Whenever he sat down next to me, I was like, "Yo, how was your break?" He was like, "I went down to this western town." I was like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "My friend got back from Afghanistan, so we got an RV. We went down to the desert. We shot a bunch of guns like we were in a western movie, and then we just had a good time."
Of all the things.
I'm like, "Are you kidding me right now?" He's like, "Yeah, no big deal." I was like, "No big deal. That's a hysterical." Pat Anger he is an American. He is an American's American, that guy. American flag tattoos all over. Prison tats whenever he's in college. How about when he said he was 8 years old? That's the guy who shaped George Kittle's life. That's the guy that is going to make George Kittle possibly be one of the greatest tight ends in NFL history. That guy right there.
Tag team champ.
Dude, he was a legend.
Speaks well, too. Maybe he could be in the WWE.
I think he would be loved in the WWE, by the way.
Good
he
character.
would be loved in the WWE.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work, though. It seems like he's past the physical work
Kicks
part
back, yeah.
of his life, you know? Like, hey, it seems like their schedule's crazy, but if Vicious and Delicious want to get one. I love Pat Anger. I'm so thankful he joined us. Incredible, just relaxed conversation while he's midday at the credit union. For those of you that don't know much about Pat Anger, who is a teammate of mine, led the NFL in tackles for a year, was a second-round draft pick for the Indianapolis Colts as a middle linebacker. He's also just an outstanding human being. Here's a little Throwback Thursday clip from the first time Pat Anger was on my show.
I was hoping we'd talk about the naked locker room fight, but we can save that for another time.
I didn't know if you wanted me to bring it up or not. I didn't know if you wanted me to bring that up or not.
It's a pretty funny deal.
Pat Anger, big-time MMA guy, loves, big-time tough grit guy, and he was involved in one of the most action-packed nude brawls I've ever seen in a locker room.
Let's hear about it.
Yeah.
If you'd like to talk about it, Pat, please go ahead.
Yeah, so I walk in the locker room, and this is during my whole surgery thing, and I think I had 3 surgeries in 1 month, so I was just kind of pissed off, and I was about a month out of that, and I was just kind of mad, and I walk in the locker room, and Dwayne's talking to Free, and they're arguing.
Dwayne Allen.
And I'm like, yeah, and I like Dwayne. I don't want this to be anything bad about Dwayne. Dwayne's a good guy. But he's talking about Free, how he's the best tight end in the league and all this shit, and I'm like, dude, shut up, man. And he goes, shut up, man. You don't even play. So I'm like, oh, shit, I got to punch this guy. and he's 280 at the time, so I try to punch him. I don't think it even hits or does anything. And he tackles me, and everybody kind of comes on top of me, and I see it looks like his arm's broken. And so I come out the side, and I'm like, oh, shit. Well, it turns out he was in a towel when we started fighting, and it wasn't his arm that was broken. It was his big wiener. And the worst thing about it is, I ended up with a black eye and herpes.
Luckily, you didn't go for an armbar there.
Yeah, no shit. Yeah.
His dick had an elbow.
Did you white guys try to shower together?
Well, I remember after that, everybody's kind of, it's kind of funny and blah, blah, blah. So I'm in the shower. I'm with Pat. It's like Pat was the only one that would talk to me after that. And I'm like, he's like, you good? I'm like, yeah, man, I just don't want to get in trouble. And, you looked at me. You looked at, my pathetic body and my tiny wiener. And we're like, no, you're good, man.
Because Anthony Costanzo was naked as a motherfucker too. He was trying to break it up. So it was Dwayne Allen, who was 280 at the time. Anthony Costanzo, it happened in his corner where he was. He just got out of the shower. He's 6'7", 300 and probably 25, 30 pounds. And then you got a little Pat Anger in there just throwing. And it was literally a sea of naked humans. And I'm just sitting in the middle of the locker room looking at it who's going to break this up?
I want full disclosure. I had my clothes on. I want to go full disclosure. I was fully clothed.
Oh, see, you were just under all the nude.
But if I would have known it was going to be a naked thing, I would have made sure to drop my drawers prior to. Now every time I get in a fight, I make sure I take my pants off.
Pat, go fuck yourself. We got to get to a break.
Hey, love you, brother. Hey, thanks for having me on, man.
Hey, love you too, man. We need to talk to you soon.
Good evening to the ladies and to the gentlemen. This is Quick Hits with Pat and Diggs, brought to you by MyBookie.ag. Promo code PAT, 50% off.
No, 50% bonus.
Yep, that's
so
what I
it's
meant to
actually 50% not off, but on when you use promo code PAT at MyBookie.ag, up to $1,000. Let's go. We bankrupt MyBookie. That's our job.
This whole 50 thing is really fuck with my head.
I mean, it's changed the whole script for you to read every single day. You're in a bad spot. You
get used to a thing for 8 weeks.
Yep. Then they go ahead and throw a curveball at you.
Fucking flip the switch.
Here's a curveball midweek. It's the greatest day of the week.
It is the greatest day of the week.
Would be a real shame Wednesday. I'll go first.
Go ahead, go first.
Would be a real shame if Chuck Pagano and Bruce Arians get back into the coaching ranks in Cleveland. Bruce Arians, head coach and offensive coordinator. Chuck Pagano, D coordinator. They got Baker Mayfield. They got some pieces on defense. All of a sudden, that team gets really good, really quick. And listen, Chuck Pagano will give press conferences talking about our defense flying around. I mean, we're the Browns. This is the dog pound. We've shocked for 45 years, but we're going to be better. Bruce Arians, I'll tell you what, motherfucker, that motherfucker going to throw the ball well. That would be an electric coaching staff in Cleveland.
Do you think Chuck would be cool with the old swoop-de-doo from head coach to coordinator?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
A lot of people do it. You see it all the time. You literally see, there's guys that, Cable, I think, was a head coach for the Raiders,
Correct.
and now he's the offensive line coach back at the Raiders.
True.
That's the
Munchak
coaching. That's the way the coaching world is. Sometimes you got to take a job as a coordinator to become a head coach again. Jim Caldwell did it in Baltimore after he left the Colts, went to Detroit. It's just the way it goes until you get back in that coaching tree. But Bruce and Chuck, I think they get along well. So they would bring their ragtag group of friends in there to coach that the Colts had. There was a lot of success there early. Bruce Arians and Chuck, good minds there. I'll be excited to see what happens.
Would be a real shame if Lev Bell sat out 3 months only to be hurt because some fucking Joe Sunday is at an LA Fitness, takes out his knees.
Some LA Fitness All-American comes in flying on the rapper.
Lev's going out. Local rapper injured at local LA Fitness. If he's going out for a layup and someone wants to play hero and take out his knees, that'd be a real shame.
Especially now everybody watches basketball. They feel like they're experts.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Block, taking charges and shit to Lev Bell.
Oh, yeah.
Unbelievable. Don't want to do it to Zion Williamson, by the way. Don't take a charge on Zion. Lev Bell, though, he is also a little stout. He looks a little stout.
I think it's a genius move because there's no better shape than basketball shape.
It's real
and there's
cardio.
no better way to get your confidence back than dunking on Sandy Lyle at the LA Fitness.
Yinzers at the Bridgeville LA Fitness. I couldn't even fathom their reaction when they're because whenever
is that fucking
Lev Bell's here. Is he playing? We want him on our team. Do you? I thought you said you hated him just 2 days ago. He screwed over the Yeah, but I would like him on my basketball team. It's kind of like the football thing. Yeah, I'd like him on the football team no matter how much we hate him, right? I mean, that's kind of the way it goes.
You imagine covering him? Like, I would treat him like he is a glass vase.
First of all, I would never cover him. I would never get put in a position to cover him because I feel like I outsmart those pickup basketball games.
Yo, we're running zone this game.
Yep. I make deals with people before games. Excuse me, are you a runner or not?
We're not gonna...
Oh, you are? You give a lot of effort? That's cool. This is not for me. I'm going to go get somebody else. You know what I mean?
Yep.
When we did the lockout, when the owners locked us out, LA Fitness is where I went and did cardio. Like, I actually played pickup games. Nobody had a clue who I was. I had a great time out there.
It's great cardio.
Great
idea.
Great idea. I like what Lev's doing. And he's in Pittsburgh.
Yep, he's there. I told you, I showed you the other day, the private flight that he took from Miami to Pittsburgh.
You saw the tail number.
Connecting dots.
Scoops McGee. Would be a real shame, and this is an alley-oop to you, if Drew Brees got another weapon out there just to continue this MVP season that he's definitely on.
Yeah, it would.
Throw up the X down in New Orleans. Throw some beads, throw up the X, and throw an MVP to New Orleans. That's what's going to happen.
Their second best wide receiver was their running back and then a tight end, and now they have Dez. Drew's going to win MVP, probably going to win a Super Bowl. These dumb kids are going to be on stage again.
And I assume there's something that Dez...
I know.
Why'd you have to mention them?
I didn't.
Those kids are going to probably go to like Harvard or Yale.
Yeah.
They're going to be the next Zuckerberg probably. I bet you if this is like Drew Brees' kids are going to be the next Zuckerberg.
Yeah, for sure.
I forget what I was going to say. I'm sure there's something that Dez could teach Mike Thomas too, right? Mike Thomas is an incredible wide receiver.
Yeah.
Incredible wide receiver. But for that many years in the NFL, there has to be some sort of football IQ that he can relay to Mike Thomas to make Mike Thomas even better. Whether it's the timing of when he puts up his hands so that corners can see when the ball is coming. Maybe it's like eye discipline, or maybe it's just something small that Dez has picked up over his career. It'd be interesting to see if Dez Bryant's going to be like one of those veterans who comes in and Mike Thomas is like, I've learned so much from him.
I've never thought of Dez as a teacher, but maybe.
You never know. Maybe he's learned. By the way, it would be a real shame if Dez tweeted to me that he's going to come on the show and then never comes on the show.
That'd be a real shame.
Would be a real shame.
Now we got to go through Saints PR.
He ain't going to teach shit, by the way. He
Unbelievable.
tweeted me and said he's going to come on the show and never. He's a liar.
Yeah, not a man of his word, apparently.
I hope he does well, though.
It'd be a real shame if Mitch Trubisky and Nick Mullins weren't able to overcome Romo-itis.
Come again?
What's Romo-itis? It's a rare condition. It's only 3 quarterbacks have ever had it. It's when your eyes are so beady, you can't see. Put up a picture of all three of them next to each other. Look at the fucking eyes. They're all the same Romo-ass eyes. Romo-itis. You're prone to terrible decisions. You throw a very interceptable ball. Your bones are like glass.
Like Nick Moraldo's.
Your ball security is terrible.
His clavicle didn't hear it, though, because that thing's too soft.
It'd just be a real shame if they couldn't overcome that disease. But with advancements in modern medicine.
LASIK, yeah, you can do something with your eyes.
I think they're going to be okay. Wait till you see the picture of these three together.
Is Mitchell Trubisky good?
They also...
Tariq Cohen, show his tweet. He went after somebody for going after Mitchell Trubisky. Like, stop talking about my quarterback. It was like a Terrell Owens moment. But then a lot of people started chiming in on whether or not Trubisky was good or not. I don't know.
Part of this disease is you're good enough to be there for 10 years. So your team never wins.
Side effects.
But they also don't sign a new quarterback.
These are all side effects of this disease.
Yeah.
It's like the commercial, be a starting quarterback in the NFL. You could possibly throw a lot of interceptions. You could also probably stick around for a long time but never actually win. Be an NFL quarterback.
Yep. You got one more for you?
Be a real shame if the Los Angeles Rams didn't just hop back on to the winning side of things after losing to a Des Bryant-less Saints last week. Because I went on quite a little run about the Los Angeles Rams being the new standard for football. And it would be a real shame if I had to look like a complete idiot.
They are 10-point faves against the Russell Wilson-led Seahawks.
They're bad, huh? The Seahawks are bad.
I can't figure them out. I don't.
Janikowski and Dixon are still doing it.
Yeah, they're great for the brand.
Great for the brand.
Last one. It'd be a real shame if the Giants handled this Kyle Lauletta internal punishment wrong.
What happened?
So he's the backup quarterback. He got arrested last week for a little road rage. Got into it with a cop.
The Giants need that. The Giants need a little road rage.
So my idea for the internal punishment was to start him at quarterback. But why is starting at quarterback for an NFL franchise a punishment? Well, because their O-line is fucking terrible.
Terrible.
31 sacks. Eli's been sacked 31 times. Yeah, he's a statue. He doesn't know how to move. He's a walking sack. But he's done. Eli's done. He's dead. He's never coming back. So you might as well put Lauletta in there.
With his little rage.
He's got a little bit of scramble ability too. More than Eli. You see if you have any future because you're going to be picking the top 5 again. See if you need to take a quarterback.
The Manning PR, as soon as that happens, they'll probably push that arrest out even more. They'll find video of him doing something.
Well, Eli can't even blame this on neck fusion surgery.
Who could? The other one.
No, I don't want to talk about him. He's a god here.
He has a statue. Would be a real shame you pissed off an entire state.
I don't want to do that.
With your loose lips.
The state's starting to grow on me.
It's a good place, man. We got a lot of good laws here, too. Michigan's got the best law that just got passed,
Couple hours, man.
Yeah, good for them. Be a real shame if you didn't come watch the show and listen to the show tomorrow.
Yep.
We got more incredible heater takes.
Picks.
Oh, the picks.
Thursday.
Hey, last week we made a lot of people a lot of money. Let's do it again.
Adios.
No, we didn't, by the way. We picked the Raiders last week.
They didn't.
We'll do better than we did last week.
They didn't remember.
We interrupt this program to let you know that 2 Italians were just speaking about football. 2 Italians. Anthony DeGilio.
Yep.
Diggs, the part of Diggs of Quick Hits with Pat and Diggs. And Pat, that other part. And you know how I found out that I was Italian? 0.009% Italian.
How's that?
I use 23andMe. 23andMe is named for the 23 pairs of chromosomes that make up our DNA.
Oh, okay.
I did not know that.
I didn't know that either.
I just learned that. 23andMe is a personal genetic service that helps you understand what your DNA can tell you about you and your family story. As your loved ones get together this Thanksgiving, discover more about the genetic connections you share. Did you inherit your beautiful green eyes from your mom or your dad? And how much is your DNA compared to your brother or sister? The 23andMe Ancestry Service allows you to see how your DNA breaks out across 150 regions worldwide.
Wow.
Yeah, I didn't know there was that many regions.
That's a lot.
To be honest, I had no idea that there was 150 regions. Trace parts of your ancestry to a specific group of individuals from 1,000 plus years ago. Discover how much Neanderthal DNA you inherited. Opt in and connect with DNA relatives and find other 23andMe customers who share your DNA and ancestors. Now you're learning about more family in the greatest time of family year, or greatest family time of the year, the holiday season. It's incredible. It's
pretty cool.
I learned I was Italian. That was a wild moment for me. It's easy to do. You simply spit into the tube provided in your 23andMe kit, register your sample to your personal 23andMe account, and in a few weeks you receive your personal online reports. They send you an email, you click on it, and then everything's in there. They're like, did you know that you are more likely to have boom, boom, boom than boom, boom, boom? And I'm like, no, I didn't. And then you check, you're like, oh, sheesh, they're right. They're 100% right. Did you know that Party View is from a place that organizes a lot of crime and mafia? And I'm like, oh, shit, no. I just found that out now. Also, great food. We have great food. Mm-hmm. We have great food, a beautiful culture, a lot of good history. I mean, I learned that about me from 23 and me. Boom. I love it. You should do it. Really, you should do it.
I'm going to try it. I honestly think I might be Italian, too. So I'm going to try that. I like pizza.
Okay.
Pasta.
Okay.
And gambling. I think that's all it takes to be Italian.
You never know.
23andMe.
Maybe you should go spit in a tube, Foxy. Now through Thanksgiving, 23andMe Ancestry Service kits are only $49 per kit when you buy 2 or more kits. So let me tell you why you buy 2 or more. Just like you want to experience this with somebody else. So like Sam and I did it. It was a lot of fun to kind of experience that because her mom is 100% Korean, South Korean, and she found the exact city that her mom was from, and it was really cool to see. And then she learned about me being Irish, German, and Italian. It was a really cool moment where you really learn about yourself because maybe you'll learn something that you didn't know about yourself that helps you for the rest of your life. And that's what 23andMe can do. 23andMe is beautiful. That's 50% off the regular kit price of $99 this holiday. 23 chromosomes being tested. They're giving it to you for 50% off when you buy 2 or more kits. Order your 23andMe Ancestry Service Kit at 23andme.com/Pat. That's the number 23, spell out ANDME.com/PAT. The number's 23, ANDME.com/PAT. Go learn a little bit about yourself.
Zion fucking Williamson is the truth.
Absurd. Because you got to think, we've been following him since 2016. So it's now 2018, about to be 2019. So Zion Williamson has been in the spotlight since he was 16, 17 years old.
The internet is like dog years too. The internet is like dog years.
Yeah, so
like 2 months on the internet is a year. He's been on the internet for what seems to be, you go dog years, 14 years now. I feel like I've watched Zion Williamson grow from dunking on little white prep school kids in South Carolina whenever he was just, 16, I guess? 15, 15? Until now. We had a guy who worked here. You were roommates with him.
Oh, yeah.
He considered himself a basketball analyst, and he said he likes college basketball and NBA basketball.
Claims that he loves basketball.
I know nothing really about it. I watch it every once in a while. I know nothing about it, but I'm on the internet. So I was trying to have a conversation, like a friendship with him. I'm like, oh, that Zion Williamson kid is the truth or whatever. I said to him, just from seeing him on the internet, then knowing what to do. And this kid, straight face, Jake Bass said he's not going to do well in college. His game is only good against high schoolers, not against college kids. I was like, he's been dunking from the foul line. Like, what does little white kids have to do with him dunking from the fucking foul line since he's 16 years old?
He's 6'7", 280 pounds.
280.
He's 6'7", 280, and he was shooting behind the arc. He was shooting threes. He could play. I'm convinced he could play any sport. He could do basketball. Honestly, I think you put hockey skates on him, he could do hockey. Obviously, he could play football. He could play left tackle, tight end, wide receiver. I mean, I wouldn't put him.
He could be a starting left tackle somewhere.
He could be a starting left tackle.
6'7".
He's 18.
280.
Yeah, 6'7", 280.
And he's got a 45-inch vert. He'd be the best left tackle. Like, if you just go by scouting, if you go by what Al Davis did for the Raiders and what Ryan Grigson did for the Colts, which is just find the biggest, fastest, strongest guy. He'd be the first pick of the draft.
I think he's a top 10 pick in the NBA and the NFL after this year.
Top 10? I think he's going to be the number one pick.
Number one pick in the NBA for sure. I said top 10.
He can shoot, dribble, and pass.
He can do everything.
See the pass, and then
Dude, Jalen Rose this morning said to Greenberg, Did you hear this?
I think
So
he
we were
said it
watching
to me.
some of it, but I didn't see what he said.
Dude,
But-
Greeny said, would Zion, he asked the question, would Zion start on the Fab Five?
Yep.
And
Oh,
Jalen
yeah.
Rose went on a run acting like, no, he won it. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about right now?
That's old school.
The back in my day guys can be
Exactly.
the worst.
How many times
They can
have
be
you
the
heard
worst.
Charles Barkley say that the NBA today
Paul
is
Pierce
harder
is the
than
king
the
of
NBA?
back in my day.
Dude.
It's a back in my day, exactly.
Yeah, but just not having.
No,
I
there's-
mean, granted, it's because he only played one game. He only
Right.
played one game. We only saw one game, so I guess that's why they're acting that way. But Greeny followed it up and said, he's bigger than LeBron.
Yep.
He's taller than LeBron. And last night he did everything.
But
It's
even
like,
if they just played one game, like if Zion Williamson gets hurt tomorrow and he's done for the season, at the end of the season, Zion Williamson is still the best basketball player
Yeah.
we saw all year.
he's so good. And did you see his interview?
No, I didn't.
Was it
He was
good?
like a giddy little kid.
Nice.
Yeah.
They said he's like the funniest guy on the team.
He's like a giddy
Yeah.
little. He was just like, yeah, I just like playing basketball. And like giggled a couple times. It's like, you haven't been ruined yet by the corporate business side. Yet.
1.7 million Instagram followers.
Oh, he's been here.
Yeah.
He's been here.
Drake follows him.
He's
All these
fucking-
famous people follow him.
Zion is a Disney Channel movie name too. Like you ever said the name
It's a
Zion,
good name.
you can go anywhere. With
Zion. How does Coach K, all these years, all these NCAA basketball teams are getting hit with recruiting violations and paying people and all this shit. Coach K dyes his hair, he has to. But
Yeah.
Coach K, at 100 years old, has just been good forever. There has to be something.
Has to
It's
be.
Team USA. It's the USA. So he basically runs USA basketball. So I feel like he's at the top of the mountain from that standpoint.
So you think he has a head start on recruiting strictly because he's coach of the USA
Head
team?
start on recruiting, and I think he knows the rules better than anybody. So if there are like a little way to work your way around a rule, he would know.
I always wondered why football coaches, like for instance, when Reggie Bush's parents or something were getting an apartment paid for by
Right.
an uncle or by a booster,
Yeah.
couldn't you just have the parents work for the booster and have them pay a salary of that? So like I'm not
For sure.
because when I was in college, I think it was Oklahoma or Oklahoma State, some of them were working at a car dealership and they were getting like 40 grand in the summer for working at a car dealership and they never showed up and it was like this big deal. It was a
Yeah.
huge thing. I don't remember if it was Oklahoma. It was somebody west of us. My brain is remembering west. I don't remember who it was though. And it was like a big deal. And I was like, well, why don't they just hire their parents? Just pay their parents.
Say the parents, especially because I feel like those parents. You
No, but that gets around all the NCAA rules. That
Seems
gets,
like a legal option.
you just
You're
hire the
someone.
parents.
Yeah, you're hiring someone.
Like if a booster wanted to hire Tim and Sally McAfee and pay them $200,000, how does the NCAA? They're like, oh, they're gonna come after Tim McAfee because this guy wants. My dad would be like, oh, I'm a truck driver for fucking 15 years working with wood. Now somebody wants to hire me, and y'all motherfuckers got a problem with it. You know, like how would you? That has to be
I
the
don't
way.
know.
And that must be, yeah. I think that's the only way to do it. Okay, but I don't understand Zion's like kind of his high school experience because, like you said, he was dunking on white prep school kids.
Little
I-
foxes,
I
little
didn't-
tiny foxes.
Yeah, skinnier even sometimes.
Probably worse jump shots than
Oh, I didn't
Oh, I don't know
know.
about
definitely.
that. Ah.
I'd probably guarantee that. Seriously, the league he played in, Zion Williamson in high school was playing guys who were 5'10", and I think he was born 6'7", 280 pounds.
Hold on. So LaMelo, Donald, which one?
LaMelo,
The one going back to high school?
Yeah.
going back to high school. He's going to high school in Ohio. Actually.
With a kid that's 7'1".
Did you see that?
He's got that giant thing.
Yeah, he has to.
Like the
That's
European-
unbeatable. That's unbeatable. Can't you just stand there with your hands?
Yes.
Just like this?
People can just shoot for air balls.
I
and
watched
just
those
tap 'em
videos.
in.
I watched those videos of them, the overgrown, the oversized, the over tall guys,
Yep.
young kids playing against the other little kids.
Yeah.
Like I know it's probably very hard and a bad look for parents to complain about having to play against somebody. But it'd be hard if I'm a parent on the other team paying for these tournaments all around the country.
Yeah.
And we have to match up with this 8 foot tall kid. Like it's in a game that revolves around height. I feel like that's an unfair advantage. Because those dudes just stand underneath
Just
the
drop
hoop.
it in.
They stand under the hoop though, and these little kids whose parents thought they were going to be the next Jay Will or whatever, come find it and they just swat that shit. It looks like an NBA player with their kids.
Yeah, no, I mean, in high school is unfair. You have to also think center, who works with the center the most, the point guard. So you're taking a guy who's played professional European basketball in Lithuania, who didn't go to school anymore, and then just decided to go back to high school, and he's just basically just closing his eyes, throwing it towards the net, and knowing the giant is tapping it.
He's going to get 45 assists in a game.
And he can miss all the threes he wants because he's got someone to rebound.
Right there. It's crazy.
LeVar Ball does it again.
Yeah, he does.
This guy does it again.
He's good.
I think he's smart. I think he knows what he's doing. I really do.
He's been very quiet lately, too.
And that's why I think he knows what he's doing. Because now he's getting quiet. Because his son's in the NBA now. He doesn't have to be the guy to be a voice because now Lonzo Ball can be a voice. Yeah. He's a grown-up. He has a child.
I think LeBron talked to him.
I do.
You think LeBron talked to him?
I do. I think there was a real sit-down conversation that happened.
Probably LeBron and Magic.
I don't think it was disrespectful. I think they were like, I think they went to LeVar with a very respectful manner. Like, hey, listen, we respect what you've done. You made your kids very. Yeah. But if there's any way, we're paying Lonzo a lot of money right now. Is there any way that we could just maybe have you chill out just for a second? Yeah. And who knows? Maybe it works. I might be too naive to think that, but it feels like as soon as LeBron got there, before LeBron got there, LeVar Ball was chatty. So he called it Lonzo's team, not LeBron's team. Very, very chatty. Very, very chatty. And then as soon as LeBron got there, there's been there had to be a conversation.
He has that effect too, I feel like. LeBron has that overpowering, like he's when he
They're bad, huh?
They look up to
well, they'll figure it out.
Start. They've been talking about Luke Walton kind of being shaky. Head coach Luke Walton.
Coaches always get heat.
Son of Bill.
Always.
I watched the Miami Heat coach when LeBron was down there.
Spoelstra?
Yeah.
There it was. I watched him in a timeout during a Pacers playoff game. I got seats right behind Miami Heat's bench, like first row right behind the bench. So you guys have seen those spots.
Oh, yeah.
It was awesome. It was such a hilarious. It was me and AQ, I think. I think me and AQ were sitting there. Hysterical evening, obviously.
Yeah.
I'm probably on cloud 15. AQ's just AQ. And they had a timeout. It was in like maybe the second quarter, I don't remember. They had a timeout. Spoelstra held a dry erase board and didn't write anything on it. He just held it in the huddle and didn't write anything on it.
He started as a video editor.
But he didn't. It was just like he was posing for the camera that's going to shoot on him.
In the playoffs.
And there was no talking in the entire huddle. Like LeBron didn't talk. D-Wade didn't. Nobody talked. It was just like it felt like a staged timeout. I was like, this is absurd. And Pacers had just gone on a run, so I think they were all pissed off.
Yeah, right.
But I think the Heat won that. And it was like their coach literally did nothing. I don't know what he does every other timeout, but in that particular one, he didn't do anything. And Ella was like slapping AQ. I'm like, AQ's a huge Jordan fan. Hates LeBron. Huge. I'm like, bro, Jordan had Phil Jackson at least drawing triangles on a dry erase board. This motherfucker ain't doing nothing, dude.
I feel like coaching in basketball is the smallest coaching job. And not saying
in the NBA.
Yes.
Because college basketball is all coach, it feels like.
College sports are all coach, I'd even say. I feel like
and they love that.
Yeah. That's why coaches in college who yell at players work, because it's all on the coaching.
Yeah, it's like I can make you, and I can literally.
Well, you're not going to get fired from school. Like you're not getting kicked out of the school. You're going to be there no matter what.
True.
The coach, he has to pick up his family and leave if they don't perform. So yeah, he's going to bark and scream at you. Spoelstra, the Heat go on a run. Spoelstra has tail between his legs.
Imagine if you would have recorded that, like with your iPhone.
This
would have flew.
This is before we were on the internet.
Yeah, exactly.
That would have crushed on the internet.
Oh, man, so good.
I was very vitamined up though, and I was just like, I didn't even think anybody else really noticed because people were just walking by.
Yeah.
Because we're behind the walkway there. Mm-hmm. People were just walking by. The people behind us were like chit chatting. This is, and I'm just like, is nobody else? This guy is literally holding a dry erase board as if he's writing. It was like he was an actor. I was like, this is absurd to me. It was.
Jeez.
That happens with LeBron too in some huddles. He'll if things aren't going well for him, he'll get down on the bench and he'll just sit there and shut up.
Yeah,
that's why I don't like LeBron.
Well, that's what it was actually. It was one of those. It was a very mad huddle, but nobody talked. It was like, it's almost like Spoelstra might have knew, like, all right, I'm not going to talk to anybody. There's going to be a lot of yelling right now, but I have to appear as if I'm doing something. Yeah. So let me hold this marker to this board. Yeah.
And basketball is just, you put 5 guys out there, you tell them to score 100 points, and if they don't, you lose, and then okay.
Last night's over-under was 154, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if Vegas is going to be able to catch up to Duke.
Duke was +1.
They weren't favorites.
I saw they were ranked fourth.
Yeah.
I saw they were the number 4 team.
Yeah.
And I almost sent out a tweet last night that was like, they're number 4 and Kentucky's number 2. Can't wait to see what the number 3 and number 1 team do to this Duke team.
And Kansas almost lost to Michigan State
Yeah.
last night.
Who's the number 1 team?
Kansas. That's who Michigan State.
Oh,
Yeah.
Kansas is watching that game. Kansas goes into their college basketball season ranked number 1, feeling like they're the shit, right?
Yep.
In practice, we're the best. Let's have a good time. We're number 1. Now we got to prove it. Walking around campus. Now we got to prove it. And then last night they sat down and watched that Duke team, and we're like, "Yo,
Yes.
this isn't the year, boys."
Yeah, they beat number 10 seed Michigan State by 5.
Yeah.
Sit down in the stands to watch Duke.
Boy. Well, it looks like our year we thought we were going to have is vastly different now. How about Zion not being the number 1 recruit? That R.J. Barrett kid was?
He was good.
But he also, he had.
But that
he had
surprised me as
32.
well.
He's 6'7" from Canada, went to high school in Florida.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So they
I
knew
agree.
he was a stud for a long time. He's a lefty, though.
Both of
Yeah, I
them.
think
Both of them
Zion
are
is
lefties. Zion was too.
They said that Barrett, Jay Billis, I enjoy listening to Jay Billis, by the way.
he's great.
It sounded like semi-pro commentary last night, like from Jackie Moon.
Yeah.
Like it sounded like there was like, well, it looks like he's not too happy about that. It was like, well, we're watching a blowout right now.
Yeah.
How about they have
Cam Reddish is the other guy.
They have a Hard Knocks on Duke coming out, though.
Do they?
Yeah, they said it was like 20 hours of footage, maybe, or 10 hours of footage.
For sure, gonna watch
on
that.
ESPN, yeah. But that R.J. Barrett, I had no idea who he was. I don't really follow the high school basketball thing.
Right.
And I know Zion, though.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So whenever they were like, this was the number 1 recruit here, this was the guy, this is like the guy, I'm like, if this is the guy, who is he? And then he did something like nasty. It was like one of the smoothest moves I've ever seen.
He had one last night where he dribbled right, then went behind the back, fake, dribbled it behind his back, but then caught it basically halfway around, like right here, and then passed it back again behind the back. It was like a half double, half fake behind the back.
And then took it to the rack?
Took it to the rack,
Yeah.
2 points.
So they were unbeatable.
Those
Oh,
three.
for sure.
Okay, so let's do it. Let's do it. Alabama can beat the Bills.
Yes.
Can this Duke team
Cleveland? Can they beat Cleveland?
the Cleveland Cavaliers?
Cleveland, who doesn't have a coach?
So let's say Alabama and Duke travel to Cleveland.
Oh, yeah.
Who's
Same
gonna
city.
win?
Same city. They go to the same city.
The dog pound does not do
This should
this.
happen.
They don't, but also they do. Because Alabama, when a team is the number 1 seed and goes away to the number 3 seed's place and wins by 29 points, there's something to say about this might being the best college team I've ever seen.
And when the number 4 team plays against the number 2 team
Yeah.
and wins by 50,
Yeah.
there might be a conversation to be had.
There is.
Yeah.
That's what I was telling him this morning. I was like, college basketball's over. It's like they needed.
Bro,
the
they
most
were-
exciting night already happened.
Coach K was treating that game like it was a tournament game.
Oh yeah.
They were up 30. They were pulling players out. The first game of the year, not like let's get the rust off, let's get into game shape.
Yeah.
Like no. We're resting players so they can get a standing out, so they can get a clap.
Well, they didn't need them to play in the end, though.
No.
It was a shit show.
Yo, who's that white kid? O'Connell?
O'Connell,
Yeah.
He used to have long hair. Oh, they had their team photo, like their promo photo they put on Twitter and stuff, and he had flow. It looked great. You could tell he just cut it because the top of his
He's
head.
loving his life. Huh, that
Oh,
kid?
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
As soon as
Great role.
I saw him get in, he took the ball to the rack, got swatted, he missed a 3. I was like, oh, this white guy's trying to get some playing time here. Then they brought him back out, and he did get hot. He did.
Oh, yeah, he's been on the team for a while, actually. I don't know if he's a senior, but if he is, then he was on the national championship team in 2015.
They always have that one kid. Grayson, right, was
Yeah.
hated by
Yeah.
everybody. And now O'Connell will be. I think Portnoy tweeted that. He said, Coach K recruits 2 types of guys. One, guys that can win the game.
Yep.
And then the other is guys that will make sure people keep hating you. And O'Connell is that guy. It's like,
Good for him.
but I don't know. O'Connell might be a cool guy. He's
He might
an
be more
Irish-
lovable
He's
than
an
the other
Irish guy
guys.
too. Yeah, Grayson I think wanted to be a villain.
Oh, yeah.
Like he
Yeah, he was a prick from the
He played
start.
like
wanted to be.
He tricked people. Like, he was
Yeah.
always in the headlines for doing stupid shit
It's
like
like
that.
incognito, right? For all of his flaws off the field. Whenever we talked to him, he wanted to be a guy that wasn't liked by other teams.
For
you know?
sure.
Like that's the type of teammate he was.
Yeah.
And I think that's how Grayson was. Grayson was like, Julian Edelman, same type of guy.
Yes.
Julian
Doesn't
Edelman,
care.
same type of guy. Does not want to be liked by the other team. I do not care if you like me or not.
Yep.
I remember the first couple of times we played him, I would talk to every punt returner in warm-ups. Every single one I would talk to. Everyone. It never ever failed. Because my opening line would be like, hey, if we get in the open field, don't run me over.
Yep.
That's what I would say.
Yeah.
Like, if we get in the open field, just don't run me over. I don't care what you do, just don't fucking run me. If you juke me, that's cool. Just don't run me over. They would always laugh. Full conversation would happen. And it was a cool thing. And then whenever the game would happen, if they would either return one or fair catch one, I would come down and I would finish the conversation. I'm like, I like that. Like when they would fair catch, I'm like, now we're working together here. Now we're working together, and there'd be a laugh. That's why I have like a good rapport with a lot of returners.
Yeah.
Julian Edelman, though, before the game, it was his rookie year, I think. He was returning punts. And I was like, how about you just fucking coming out of nowhere, huh? And he wouldn't even fucking look at me. Wouldn't even look at me. I'm this far away from him. And I'm like, I was supposed to go to Kent State. Would have been cool to be your teammate, man. You're a dominant human being. Like trying to win him over.
Yeah.
Wouldn't even fucking look at me. I was like, oh. Then I just walked away. So I go up to Vinatieri, right? I go, that guy wouldn't even fucking look at me. Wouldn't even look at me. He was like, that's wild. I was like, wild, yeah. And then he became like the best returner in the league all of a sudden. Out of nowhere, he became the best returner. And I'm like, this fucking guy. And I run into him in LA during an off season. We're like the same event. And on NFL Network the day before, I had ranked the punt returners that are most for me.
Yeah.
And I put Julian Edelman number one. Like, this guy, he's the guy right now. I understand everybody else might have more touchdowns than him, but he's young and he's a dick. I basically say like he's an ass and he is not scared of anything, basically. And he saw it, I guess. So the next day I'm at an event and I come up to him and I'm like, hey man, what's up? And he's like, what's going on? I thank you for what you said yesterday on FMO. I was like, yeah. Do you know that like you're the only guy that wouldn't talk to me for a game? He was like, I was a little bit of an ass man. I was trying to prove myself. I'm like, oh yeah, a little bit. And then the next time, whenever we played each other, I walked up to him.
Nice.
And I'm like, what's up, man? He's like, fuck you. Yeah, we're having a convo. Because I think he gets in like a zone. Like I think he gets into like a...
For sure.
It's the Patriots versus everybody zone.
Yeah, it's like he gets into that zone.
Yeah.
And for me, I don't ever. So I don't ever get into like that angry zone. It's like I'm much better at everything whenever I'm like more loose.
Goosey, baby.
So like I'm coming over to fuck with somebody and they're like, get the fuck out of here. And I'm like, that's on me. I'm
Runs on the field. My bad.
My fault. I thought we were friends, really. We were drinking together. That's on me. Yeah, that's it. I'll get the fuck out of here. But anyways, Zion. Yeah. God, I'm excited to hear what you have to say.
Dude, I just had, by the way,
Yeah.
the vitamins are making me think of this. I just had some of those caramel M&Ms.
Yeah.
Don't like them. Not a fan. You like them?
Better than the peanut or much worse?
Much worse.
They're worse for
There's
sure.
a real texture issue, like,
Yeah,
because the caramel's chewy and you smash the candy shell and it gets caught up in there. Like when you put a piece of gum in your mouth right after you had a bunch of potato chips.
it collects it.
Yes, and it traps it in there.
Yeah.
I fucking hate that.
I do too. Why is M&M? You found it with the peanut. You found it with the peanut.
Perfection, right out of the gate.
Now, Diggs said he likes the pretzel one the other day. I guess we can do it, but it seems like they try to do everything with it. You know?
They're going too far. He even told me those caramel ones are going on him, so I don't trust the
I like
pretzel one at all.
Not as much as the peanut though, but I like them. They're just a little softer and just different taste.
They just all right. So here's what they did. The M&M was already good.
Someone compared them to a Whopper, but it's a better Whopper. Whoppers stink.
it's nothing like
a
Whopper.
Burger King Whopper? No. I was about to say, that thing is legit.
Whopper
Whopper might be the best burger out there. I thought I've never had one of them.
Yeah,
It's like a malted milk ball. Do you remember a while ago, some place sent us just like thousands of those?
They were sitting underneath the coffee thing forever.
They come in like a jug, like a carton.
Yeah, it's like a milk carton.
Yeah. I've never had them, but I do remember those things showing up here.
The chocolate on them isn't real high quality.
No,
the outer shell chocolate.
It is caramel one. These caramel M&Ms here, not good, huh?
No, dude.
How'd they end up here? Somebody sent them to the office.
Yep.
Yeah.
By the way, we don't mind things being sent to the office.
Not at all.
We love things being sent to the office. You know something I hate though, why that texture gets me, or something about sand. Every time I'm around sand, I think I was held down by my cousins one time.
Like beach sand?
Yes. I don't mind walking in it, but I always in my mind I'm like, I remember when my fucking cousin held me down and made me eat sand. You know what I mean? Like, and I'll never get that out. That's what that fucking reminded me of.
Sand's very overrated. In general, sand stinks.
It sucks.
Like
in
the
golf.
beach is awesome. Yeah, it sucks in golf.
I have a question.
You can't fuck
How did
with
we
it.
get to the sand? Like, how did we get to
Yeah,
sand?
good question.
That's what that texture is of that caramel
your
M&M.
mouth?
Once you get it in there, it's so gritty, and it just reminded me of sand. And I have this thing about sand. Like when I was a cop, I would rather you come at me with a knife than a hand of sand. Like you come at me with a hand of sand, I'm gonna think you're gonna put it in my mouth. I'm gonna fucking kill you.
Well, and also you're going to deal with it forever because if
Yes.
that thing accidentally gets in your shirt or if it gets accidentally gets in your pants, sandy crotch is a real thing.
There's no getting rid of sand.
No, there isn't.
It just goes on forever.
So the caramel M&Ms remind you of sand.
Yes, don't eat them.
The
That's a tough
consistency
thing.
in them are just so like Snickers is awesome. The caramel and Snickers, like they
Yes.
got that down the right way. It's just like a hard, cold caramel center.
Yes, and it's that.
I don't
It
know why they
doesn't
got to
mix
fuck
well.
it up, you know? I don't know why they got to fuck it up.
The first
Don't
M&M
fuck
was
it.
great.
The
And
original?
then they were like, well, we'll put a peanut in it.
And then they got cocky.
Yeah, because
they
we
were
were
like-
like, we didn't think you could make it any better than you did.
Yeah, so old George over in corner of creative down there. You remember what I did with the peanut? Remember that? How we didn't think it could get any better? I got a new one, caramel. And they're like, yeah, this guy would never get it wrong. And then here we are eating sand. That's unbelievable.
So bad.
Do you guys like the almond ones?
I don't think I've ever-
No, I tried it once. It's okay, but it's so, to me, still so inferior to the regular peanut M&M that I'm like, why am I bothering with this?
I agree.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's like going to see like a movie with
I'm excited for this because I've probably gone to see it.
like a movie.
I went and saw Smallfoot the same weekend that like some #1 movie was out.
Oh, it's like The Rock. Like it's like y'all will go to the movie theater to see a Rock movie, but I love Stone Cold Steve Austin, but I'm not going to go to the movie theater for his movie. Right. I'll wait for Netflix. You know what I mean? It's like, so if you go to a movie theater seeking out a Stone Cold Austin movie, think about what you're doing.
But just for future reference, I would go if Stone Cold Steve Austin was to release a movie in 2018 or 2019, and it was in theaters nationwide. I would go first night. Probably be at the matinee if I had to guess. If Stone Cold Steve Austin, because what was he? He was on that island one.
The Condemned. I went to that
Now-
first night in theaters.
There
when
we
it
go.
came
That's
out.
what I'm talking about, Ty.
That one, yes, that is very theater worthy, and I forgot about it till you said that. That was a good fucking movie.
I thought I remember he was running through the fucking island. Like he's Stone Cold Steve
Got him
Austin.
out of prison. Right?
He kind of has disappeared in a good way. Like he shows up every once in a while. He's got that Broken Skull Ranch.
Yeah.
And then he also hosts some other stuff, a podcast, but he's not over the top, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Where The Rock has become mainstream everything. He's everywhere. People are thinking about him being president.
Yeah.
I'm assuming Michelle Obama, but people are assuming The Rock can run for president. It's very interesting watching because those two were at the same time in WWE, watching where they've gone.
Right.
And who's happier, you think? I think Stone Cold might be happy.
He seems happy,
he's
man. Do
He's-
you like that show he has? That show where they
Broken Skull
yeah,
Ranch.
Yeah,
Or Broken Skull Challenge or something.
Oh,
Yeah.
like the actual game show.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I knew a girl that was on
they
there.
they fight like
Oh, that stuff. Those challenges were unbelievably
I knew a
hard.
girl that was
Brutal.
on there.
Really?
I guess we should have. It was AQ's ex-wife.
She was a contestant on that.
She was. We can leave that. We can leave that. This all can stay.
All right.
AQ's newly married, has a baby. That shouldn't be
Yeah,
a problem.
sure.
Yeah, AQ's ex-wife was on it. She's like she was a MMA.
I would say she has to be a badass.
Yep, and she almost drowned a girl. I guess they had like something in water where it was like a thing, and they said it was too violent. They can't put it on TV, so they had to do it again. They had to reshoot it.
But I would.
That's what she said. She could be lying too, but it was right before their wedding. She went and did it, and then at the wedding, I asked. I was like, "How did that? What was Stone Cold Steve Austin like? Was he the coolest guy ever?" And she was like, "Yeah, he was really nice." I was like, "What was the game like?" She was like, "Well, it was Hollywood. You know, they had Hollywood, a little part of Hollywood." And I was like, "Oh, I can't wait to hear this." And she was like, "I almost killed a girl, I guess." She held her underwater, and then she said she had to redo it, and she lost. So she redid it, and she lost.
Are you serious?
Yeah, so she got out. So I think she had kind of a bitter.
Yeah,
I think she
would
had a bitter feeling towards it, but I assumed that something almost terrible would happen. And CMT was like, "We can't fuck it. This girl almost dies. We got a girl inhaling water here in the bottom of a pit while Steve Austin laughs. We can't put this out." So it's, but I've watched that before.
I like the hell out of it.
I guess
Haven't
he
watched it in a
lives.
while.
I guess he lives out in the middle of nowhere in Texas,
I see his Instagram is always just him driving ATVs and hunting with his dogs.
out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
yeah, he's
Just
gotta be-
desert.
So like Brock is out in the middle of Canada, and Steve Austin's out in the middle of Texas.
Both happy as fuck. Guaranteed.
Brock Lesnar You mentioned him the other day with the Cormier situation and how he was in USADA testing and he looks smaller and stuff like that. He lives out in the middle of nowhere like an actual caveman. He might be the closest thing to like what cavemen were, right? Like, I think he is the closest thing to.
Yeah, like his bone structure, his everything is the most comparable to a fucking caveman. I would say.
I'd say right, like almost. I don't want to say pre-evolved human, but like a more.
Like back,
ape-like human.
Like back when bears used to look at us and go, I don't know if I want to fuck with that. You know what I mean? Like, we were different then.
Those things look like they could fight back. Looks like that thing could run on its hands if it had to. Like that's what it looks like. It looks like you could go into. He could walk on all fours, I think, like an animal if he had to right now.
Absolutely.
And it would look natural.
Yeah, like his arms are no less strong than his legs. You know, it's fucking weird.
He is smaller now.
Yeah.
But it seems as if he does love his life. Like, he gives no fucks about anybody. Anything.
I think he is in such a good fucking spot. You know what I mean? Like this, I was reading, we talked about last episode that, you know, he's going to fight Cormier in January. And now I guess this deal with the WWE takes him into at least April.
WrestleMania.
Yeah. For just those events. And
it takes him to the next WrestleMania.
Okay, and that's in April.
Yeah, because
right?
he's the current champion right now. So the champ has to have a build for WrestleMania. So that would have to happen.
So minimum April. But they said it's a multi-event deal, so it could carry him into summer. So now a lot of MMA people are like, there's no way if he has to carry that schedule now that he's going to continue and go to the UFC.
The schedule for WWE, he just flies in on Mondays. He only does Monday Night Raw. And it's not every Monday Night Raw. He does like once every 4 weeks. He does Monday Night Raw. The big gimmick right now about Brock Lesnar in the WWE is that he doesn't show up. That's like his actual...
Just has his own gig and just...
He doesn't care about the WWE. He doesn't care about the actual storyline right now with Brock Lesnar, and it has been for a while now, has been that Brock Lesnar is a part-timer. He doesn't care about the WWE. He's just there to collect checks. That's all it is. That is his story. So I think he could train UFC.
I hope these people are wrong, then, because they're hitting it hard. And they're even saying it's going to cause, if that happens, it causes Jones versus Cormier 3.
So if we were thinking that Brock and Vince McMahon had teamed up with UFC and Dana White to promote this next UFC fight with Brock and Cormier, this would still follow. This would fall into that. This extension through WrestleMania would still follow suit with that, right?
Right.
Because he would still be with the WWE and he'd be doing you. I think, and I'm nowhere near an expert, which I'm sure you've read up on with experts. I think he could definitely, and that's just as a person who watches WWE, and Brock only shows up once a month. Right. He only shows up once a month. And I'd assume he's training now for UFC with how small he looks.
He's definitely, in USADA, like you said, but something's changed.
So I'm thinking, in my head, this is without doing any research and just finding out about this right now. In my head, I'm thinking that he is training for UFC right now, and the WWE is going to promote it. And when Roman had to go back and battle leukemia, who was the champion, they're like, well, this is just an easy way to do this here. And I think that's what's happening.
Exactly. What better way to build that storyline? It's just like, look at this guy. He's going out to fucking fight in the UFC. He doesn't care about the WWE, you know?
Exactly. And he's the WWE champion, so UFC can promote that the WWE champion. And if he wins, Vince McMahon is going to have a field day promoting that. That the WWE champion just went into UFC and beat their double champion. That would be a huge promotion.
Yeah.
It's just whether or not Brock can handle it, I guess. That's what everybody's saying.
Yeah. And the good thing is, it doesn't matter if those people are right or if what you're saying happens. Like, because Brock Lesnar's in the mix, everybody still fucking wins. They make more money if he fights John Jones. If Brock fights John Jones, they make way more money than if he fights Cormier.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. Those are two big names. But
So
I think
if
they have
that's your
respect for
fallback-
each other, I think. I think they're both kind of heels. It's an interesting... If we're going to think like WWE, Cormier is the right guy to have Brock fight because he's the double champ and he's like a nice guy. And the mainstream's pushing him hard. They had him on Thursday Night Football. They got him doing commentating and stuff. He's being pushed hard by people. And Brock's like the perfect, I don't want to say bad guy, but the perfect like outlier, basically.
Yeah.
But John Jones, Brock Lesnar, huge draw.
Huge draw. And that'll happen no matter what still, I think. But it would be, I would hope this Cormier and and Brock fight happens. Because to me, that would be the best heavyweight matchup I've probably seen in 15 years.
And who's favored in that?
I don't know.
I think
call
Cormier probably would be
Now let's say
betting wise.
John Jones, Brock. Who would be favorite?
Oh, John Jones would be a massive
way
favorite,
more
I
the
think.
so than Cormier.
Over Brock Lesnar?
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, in my head, I have WWE Brock Lesnar. This guy he picks up 400-pound dudes like it's nothing.
If he gets a hold of him, it's going to.
That's what you say. He has that superhero strength.
But I think Jones has a much better chance of avoiding that than Cormier.
Do you think Brock Lesnar possibly, because let's say the WWE is also promoting this, so any promotion's good promotion. He does I'm going to drink Miller Lite. I'm going to drink Miller Lite because Bud Light isn't paying me enough for gig. You think he goes into full promo mode afterwards?
I agree.
Because his last performance at UFC showed up, pushed Cormier, the whole thing. It was a promo without Paul Heyman.
Yep.
Brock Lesnar was talking without Paul Heyman.
Yep.
Do you think they'll continue to promote it, or Dana White will want him to? I wonder what's going to happen there.
I guarantee it, dude. They must just sit around and just come up with ways to get Brock back
Drum
constantly.
interest?
Because he's the highest draw. Outside of McGregor, and probably that's only because he hasn't been here since 2010. If he would have continued on, his numbers for pay-per-view and UFC would way outnumber.
And that's 100% because of the WWE.
Yes.
Yeah.
1,000, not even that's 1,000% because of WWE. And the WWE is a bunch of like circus acts, right? Like you have the bearded lady, you have the monster, you have the this, you have the barbarian. That's who Brock is.
Yeah.
He's the barbarian fighting against me. But you got good versus evil, myth versus legend. You have all these things happening in WWE. And Brock Lesnar in himself isn't a character. He's a character. He's barbarian. He's the barbarian of the group. He's the alpha of the WWE.
And it takes very little acting.
He
just is that.
Just be you, and he doesn't have to talk. Paul
It's
Heyman,
like Andre the Giant back in the day. Just pretend you're a giant. Okay, I am a giant. Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Just show up.
Yeah.
Just show up and just do whatever you got to do. Look angry, get pissed off. Andre the Giant changed the game because he was that side show. That's what he. Come see this world's tallest man who's an athlete, right? Come see this superhuman Italian blonde Hulk Hogan, who is super strong. Drink all your vitamins. You can be like, it's just like it's like, I don't want. They're draws in themselves. Come see this guy who has more energy than anybody else. Ultimate Warrior. Come see. It's just like you. It's all draws. And Brock Lesnar being the barbarian has worked very well in the WWE for a long time. And you team him up with the best talker probably in the WWE. Maybe The Rock was really good, but Paul Heyman is one of the best talkers to ever step onto a microphone. So it's a perfect team there. But whenever you have years and years of dominance, it's like the WWE people have grew a respect like for Brock Lesnar. Anytime Brock Lesnar's music hits, even if they're supposed to hate him, as soon as that fucking sound hits, the whole place just stands up. It's like this is the guy, you know? So it makes sense that when he goes into UFC, everybody at WWE, all the fans are like, oh, I want to go see his ass in like a real cage over there.
And so much he and the WWE have to teach those guys because,
oh my God,
you know, certain people are just born attractions, right? With their personality.
It's all these people.
Yes. And then you couple that with the fact that these guys are like you that know, you know, I mean, not every none NFL players can do what you do.
Agreed.
Like, it's like that with these athletes on the other side of the house. It's like, and now here you got this guy, like Brock Lesnar being a freak in and of himself wouldn't be what he is now.
Him having the attitude, knowing that he is the guy he is.
Knowing how to pump people up and get them to follow what he's doing, you know,
the story.
Tell
the story, It's like Khabib, great fighter, nowhere near the promoter that McGregor was. Nowhere near. It's like the promotion is a talent in of itself, though. In the business of anything. The promotion is a talent in of itself, if you can do it or not.
But how anybody attaches himself emotionally to Khabib, you know, like to root for him just because he's fucking awesome. He has no personality.
Him hopping in the crowd, not bad promotion. Yeah. So maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that is his promotion.
Right.
Maybe like the night before the fight, they were like, you know, you're doing no promotion for this thing. Nobody even knows you exist. Everybody thinks this is just a McGregor fight. And he goes, "Oh, I win, I jump in crowd." And that will blow up internet. And then it did.
It did.
And then it did. And it was like, oh, maybe you're right. But nobody knows Khabib. He's gone, right? Khabib,
Right,
they announced a fight. If they were to put Khabib on an undercard, nobody would be.
Yeah.
Nobody
No.
would be like, oh no, don't do that.
Well, and that's why it took him so long to get a title shot. He's like 26-0, but he was always fighting like the first fight on the card or stuff like that, just because he's boring, and
Yeah.
B, he
But
has no personality.
Boy, what a fight. He drained Connor.
Oh, yeah.
It was like a python or whatever those things are. What are
boa
those-
constrictor.
Boa. It was like one of those. It was just suffering. It was just, it was suffocating
Yes.
Connor
It was
McGregor.
painful to watch.
It
You're
was.
like,
It
oh
was just
my
like,
God.
dude, you got no shot.
He looks so miserable right
Ah, dude, you just got dragged into the goddamn river again by the Amazon.
now. But if he were to get kidnapped tomorrow, disappeared off face of the earth forever, no one that follows the UFC would be like, we haven't seen Khabib in a few years. You would just forget about
You
it.
just forget about
Yeah.
it.
That's
Brock
how- that's
Lesnar
how-
though has maintained we would like to see him back in the UFC. Mm-hmm. Who did he lose to? Or who did he beat the hell out of?
He beat Mark Hunt
Mark
when he
Hunt.
came back after a 4-year layoff. And Mark Hunt then, in 2010, no chump. Nobody to be in the huge knockout power, good wrestling. So I think that's a good sign.
Brock Lesnar, man.
He's just a
Think about him up in a barn in Canada in the middle of nowhere, just rolling around on the floor with like 3 other barbarians. Just a bunch of vanilla gorillas in there just beating the hell out of each other.
I mean, when you're at the height, the level he was at what he was already doing, what drives you to go to an organization that was going to pay him like a 20th of what his yearly salary was?
No clue.
To go, he's an animal.
I honestly believe that the WWE and UFC are together on this promotion. And I think him signing through WrestleMania is only even more part of it.
I agree.
Vince McMahon is finding a way to profit off of the hype that he created.
Yeah, oh,
basically,
absolutely.
Which is what Brock Lesnar. I assume the last time Brock went to UFC, there was probably a pissed off Vince McMahon. I assume it's not pissed off, but I assume there's some people in WWE that are like, "Yo, they are literally just doing this because of what he is in WWE."
Right.
And then Vince, being a businessman, probably was like, "Next time we'll just get into it."
Yeah.
And that's probably what happened here.
I
If
think
I had
so.
to guess,
I think so.
because this is with zero inside information. Nobody would tell me when I was in the NFL. I was a punter. Nobody told me anything. Now I work for WWE. I am on the NXT pre-show. That is literally the bottom of the totem pole. Nobody would tell me anything, but in my head, Vince is going to help out the UFC a lot here in promotion.
I think so. And already worth his investment, I think, just for Ronda Rousey. You know what I mean?
Yep.
For getting that relationship with the timing he did. He didn't get her after she was forgotten and she didn't have heat anymore, like what's happened traditionally back,
Do you
with
think
fighters.
Vince shows up to the fight?
Yes. No. Yes. Oh, I don't know.
Him in the front row would be awesome.
He'd be
That'd
electric.
be so cool.
Him, Triple H, Stephanie, the whole squad.
Oh, yeah.
Just lined up in the. They buy just like with 50 Cent did with Ja Rule. They buy all the front tickets. They got like every wrestler just sitting in the front row. Sorry. Yeah, our champ's fighting your champ. Let's see what happens.
Jeez.
It'd be good for the WWE though if Brock Lesnar is the WWE champ and the heavyweight UFC champ. He's literally the most dominant human on earth. Then.
Yeah. And it's great. It's just great for everybody, The fact that he walked this earth, that's what he was put on this earth to do, was to fucking save the UFC. Every now and then somebody's got to be born to save the UFC. Give it a little bump. We were almost gone. Dana White, boom. Now
Kind of falling off again.
Yeah.
Brock Lesnar's back.
Yep, there we go.
Guess who's back? Back again. How much do you think they paying him? He's probably getting a percentage, I assume.
Yeah.
On the pay-per-view probably.
Probably just getting a percentage of it.
Yeah.
I bet he still makes like $3 million just for showing up.
So it's probably a $5 million salary, I assume. Mm-hmm. And then a percentage on the pay-per-views and
would
probably
guess.
house tickets too. You think he gets a percentage of that?
Probably.
Yeah.
I wonder.
I guarantee it's the sweetest deal anybody's ever gotten.
Also, I'd like beer too. I would like. I like a percentage of beer sales.
Forever.
Forever.
Forever I want beer at my house too.
Yeah. He has pumped Jimmy John's for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
And we were talking about this the other day. I've never seen him in Jimmy John's commercial. I've never seen Jimmy John's promote Brock Lesnar. I've only seen Brock Lesnar promote Jimmy John's. Jimmy John's needs to get their fucking shit together before that barbarian.
Right.
They never promote him. He always has Jimmy John's on his shorts
He always.
and on any of his stuff.
If he did all their commercials,
So much better.
Oh my god! Forget
Freaky
about it.
fast.
Other hoagie places, you're done.
Well, maybe if Jimmy John's could maybe buy up Quiznos toasters.
Oh, and get that formula?
Yeah. Jimmy John's, buy Quiznos toasters so we can really just do this thing.
We were talking about Quiznos and their social media account from the last standing store in Indiana replied to it.
Really?
Yeah, it's in Plainfield, Indiana.
We got to go.
Oh, I know.
seriously.
We
I
have
was like,
to go.
I thought you were gone. You got one store.
I'm on my keto diet pretty heavy right now because I'm in Los Angeles next week. No big deal.
No big deal.
know if
How are you looking forward to this or what?
I got a good costume. I know that.
Oh, yeah.
I got a good costume.
Very good.
I feel very good about what I'm wearing.
Nice.
Feel good. I'm halfway there. I mean, that's if I feel like I'm going to look solid. We've been searching for a barber though. I need a barber because I'm literally in this office for like 12, 13 hours a day.
Yeah.
And there's no time to go do anything. And then so I'm trying to pay a barber to come to the office
Bi-weekly.
yeah, 2 times a month, bi-weekly. By the way, it's weird that that's bi-weekly
It is.
because that should be bi-monthly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I
you would
think
think
bi-weekly. I'm like, you're going to hit me
2
twice
times a week. Yeah.
Right.
But I think but bi-weekly is the way to say it.
Sure.
Because that's like,
You're right, though. It doesn't make sense to me right now. As soon as you said it,
yeah,
I'm like,
it doesn't, right?
yeah.
So 2 times a month.
Yeah.
We're looking for somebody to come in and cut the hair and willing to pay for sure.
Absolutely.
But there's some of these barbers.
Are wild.
What the fuck?
I've gotten a lot of DMs from a lot of barbers.
Bro, one guy told Foxy that if he wants to, I know every barber in the city. If you want a good cut, you're gonna have to pay. Well, like $100. Foxy's like, what the fuck are you?
100 a head.
100 a head.
100 a head.
100 a head.
For a haircut.
Yeah, bro, you Bob Ross, bro. What are you gonna do up there? Just give me a fade and get the fuck on with it.
That's like the construction guy's quote that changes as soon as he pulls into the driveway of a fucking mansion.
Oh,
you know?
my God.
Oh,
And
and twice as much.
The expensive ones always take forever. It's like, okay, this guy just spent $100, so now I need to take a full hour and ruin his day.
We sound like this is such a first world problem.
It
but
really is.
We work too goddamn hard to go get haircuts. So we're trying to pay somebody to come in and cut our hair.
Yeah.
And instead, what do we have to do? We have to deal with somebody telling us they're going to pay $100 for my fucking haircut.
That's
Holding
asinine.
you hostage.
100, and then that's not including a tip.
No.
Right.
They're
So
expecting a tip.
you're talking
120, 125
130.
bucks.
I'll slit my own throat before I pay $100 for a haircut.
What did the one guy? The one guy was charging 45, and you walked
Yeah.
in. He said $45. You turned around and walked.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do it.
And these are guys that post every single haircut they do on their social media, and it's like, we are an internet company. We have a presence there.
Maybe we negotiate. Maybe we can negotiate here. No, 100 a head if you want the best cut in the city. It's like what? I don't want. Maybe I don't want the best. I just want a cut.
I respect the art, right? I respect the art.
It's hard. It's hard. If everybody could do it, we would have somebody in the office that could do it.
Absolutely.
So we respect the art.
That's a
Yeah.
lot of money.
But $100 a head.
Bro, $100. The guy with a straight face. He didn't have any like laughy face emojis.
No.
No, it was a straight face. He said that with
That
a
ain't
period.
happening.
With one period, he said
Yeah.
that. That's unbelievable.
Who else are you charging $100 to? Nobody.
No way.
You should just give them the stipulation, be like, all right, but then if I don't like it, I get to ruin your career. I get to literally end your career as a barber.
See, I hate that. I that's something I do. Oh, I'm gonna sound like such a douchebag. That's something I miss about being smaller on the internet.
Mm-hmm.
I very much miss being able to tell people how I
Yeah.
feel about
Yeah.
them. Now it's accused of weaponizing your followers and bullying and blah blah.
Well, and
blah.
you're a small business owner, just not a good look.
Yeah, but when I had like 10,000 followers and I got some shitty service, man, I very much loved doing a Yelp review right there in 140 characters. I did. I enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun because they didn't know who I was. I was
Right.
basic white guy coming into thing. And if I got treated like shit, it just like, oh, this place is not great. You know, that's all it would take. And then all of a sudden, my smart ass followers, 10,000, would be like, they would at the company and then tell them, like, y'all motherfuckers fucked up. And then I'm getting like emails to the Colts facility. I'm getting like letters to the Colts facility from restaurants. I'm like, God damn it, I can't do it anymore.
Those days are over.
Used to be able to do that. Now I can't do it.
Now that place would get fucking just. People would pick it. They would set up camp around it.
I appreciate my followers; they're really good people. But I've had to get smarter about what I put up there because it's very much an us versus the world feeling. It is very much us versus the world, which I appreciate very much. So if I say anything literally just negative about something, man, they get them. I got into it with the Indy Star. The Indy Star called me a sexist because I questioned Connor Daly's manhood whenever he decided to become a vegan. They said that I was assigning a gender to a diet, which is sexist. The Indy Star said that.
I remember.
So I quote tweeted it and just said, ha, 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 ha. That's all I said because it literally made me laugh. It literally made me laugh. I was laughing so hard. My followers said some things to the person that wrote that were very negative. Very, very negative. Somebody told her to go play in traffic. It was like, So then I get accosted.
It's your fault.
For weaponizing my followers from saying ha 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 to a quote tweet.
Right.
And it's like, it was at that moment where I was like, I did not expect somebody to be that over the top to this. But maybe when you're writing about probably like the fourth or fifth highest philanthropist of the city, like maybe it's something to think about as opposed, you know what I mean?
No, that's so true because you want it. Like even me sitting here right now, I'm like, how the fucking people deserve it? I know what would happen if you like had to fire back at somebody. Like they might as well just fucking unplug themselves for the rest of their life.
It is.
On the internet.
A kid had to delete his account. I had a kid had to delete his account because at the Pro Bowl, I said because this was when Deflategate was happening. Something happened, Deflategate. I was at the Pro Bowl drunk on strawberry marks.
Nice.
And I put a tweet out that was like, if New England gets disqualified, I think we are technically in the Super Bowl. I should probably lay off these strawberry marks. Right? I sent that out. So then some kid from New England sent me a tweet that was like, what'd I tell you something, you fucking punter? Like he basically threatened. He said he was going to fight me, right? So I did a little research on him, and I clicked on him. I'm like, all right, here we go. I mean, this doesn't always happen. I get a chance. This is like a heckler here. I get a chance. So I go to him. He played college football at some D3 school, and he was mocking that I was a punter. So I just simply responded to him that if I was to attend his school, the program would read Pat McAfee, P/QB/OL/TN/S/RB/ your coach probably. So like it was like very, very relaxed. It wasn't even.
That's not even bad.
I didn't even go hard at it.
Right.
I was just basically.
And it was funny. It was done well done.
And I think I called him like he had his highlight reel and he ran like a 4.940 or something like that. So I ended it with like, so take your 4.940 sloth ass and get the fuck out of my mentions or something like that. That kid got accosted so hard. He deleted his Twitter. I felt so bad. I was like, that wasn't even that good of one, but boy, people were really feeling it because Deflategate was a big thing. So it got it. The kid deleted his Twitter. I was like, oh man,
Slippery slope.
But sometimes I feel like they deserve, like
that's what he gets.
They would deserve that. Like some people, sometimes you only get one shot. You know, second chances aren't a real thing all the time. Like doctors sometimes don't get second chances. You know what I mean? Like you've got to nail it.
Why?
And if you choose to fuck it up.
Well, you see, social media isn't really social media anymore. It's just it's a one-way street with most things. Because somebody could say something to me. It doesn't happen that often anymore, actually. It's pretty cool. I thought it would get a lot worse as I got bigger, but it seems as if it's kind of smaller. But no, like people chirping or whatever, it used to be so much fun to joust with those people. So much fun. Because as a punter, you don't get to talk shit much.
Right.
But on Twitter, with a basic motherfucker, I mean, I got nothing but time here. I can scroll through your photos to see you were a fifth wheel 2 years ago. I got nothing but time. I'm sitting in a hotel. There's a game tomorrow, but I got no film to watch, and I'm just laid up. I can scroll all the way through all of your tweets and learn about your ex-girlfriend, and I can post a picture of her in my response to you. I used to be a savage on there. Savage.
See, but that's what I don't get is like when someone tweets at you, I mean, maybe the predominant thought now is just like, well, he's never going to see it. But part of it is like, I want him to see this. Like, I want him
you're
to
trolling.
Yeah, exactly.
You're literally
I want
trolling.
him to respond to what I'm saying. So if you can't take the heat from your original, you know, it's like
there's no way they expect.
No, definitely not.
They can't
There's
fathom,
no way they expect
the wrath.
20,000 people just to be like, oh, we're going? Yep.
Definitely not.
This fucking guy, he runs a 4.9. Look at this fucking bum. There was people pulling up pictures from his high school, like him in high school. It was tough. It was tough. I was watching it. I didn't delete it, but it was right there. It was very fun.
But that's also the difference between tweeting at someone like you and tweeting, like just some guy who has a take on something who has 140 followers. It's like, well, that kind of shit's gonna happen if you're doing that.
I kind of enjoy it because it does tear down that anonymity that they all try to hide behind.
Exactly.
You're not anonymous anymore when you can't get on your account anymore without people fucking terrorizing you.
I love it.
Yeah.
I used to love it. Now let's just say we're having a good time here. Everybody's happy. Everybody's good. We're having a good time here.
Now you'll air it out. You'll tell us it. I got to go after this person. And then you'll say what you want to say. And then you'll be like, all right, no, I'm not going to do it.
Yeah, I get it all out.
You'll do some curls, shoots a few baskets. All right, I'm not going to do it.
Man, it's tough sometimes. There's some people on Twitter that have too much false confidence.
Sure.
They should not be tweeting the things that they are tweeting. And somebody has to tell them at some point. And I always want to be that guy.
Uh-huh.
But I can't anymore. Can't anymore because there's too many followers now. I can't weaponize my followers to attack douchery and evil off of Twitter. I can't do it because it's against the rules. Rules.
You need a
burner?
a burner account that has 8,000, 10,000 people on it or something.
No, I used to have another account called Sensei They.
Oh, that's a good name.
Yeah, wait, what was it called? Fuck. Sensei They, maybe? Uh-huh. And it was they say, and it would be they say things. Mm-hmm. And I was very high when I was doing it. And it became, everybody knew, because as soon as I would tweet from there, I'd retweet it from Pat McAfee. And it had one follower when it started. It was me, it was bad. Everybody knew it was there. And I deleted it because I was like, man, I don't want to send a tweet out from this one. It's supposed to be this. But there's people that have full-on burners.
Oh, yeah.
Kevin Durant getting caught with burners was absurd to me. I'm like, I didn't even think about people doing that. And then you hear about the 76ers GM doing it to Joe. He had a burner to talk shit on his players.
Yep.
The internet's a wild place.
It's so wild.
Wild.
Yeah, and I love that he wasn't any better at using a burner account than you were. He was pretty obvious. We were like, come on, dude.
Who, Kevin Durant or the GM?
The GM. When they went back and looked at it,
the burner account is a crazy. Who runs Zito Thoughts?
It's a good question. I want to know.
Somebody in his office.
I don't think it is.
You don't think it's somebody in this office?
No, I don't think it is.
I assumed it was. That's why the other day I was like, whoever that is better step up their phone. Because I thought it was one of you guys.
Because I think if it was someone from this office, then some of the stuff that he would say, when we're not on air, would slip through the cracks and get in there. Be like, oh, that's too good. I got to throw that up.
Maybe it's Zito's friend, though. Maybe it's
Could be.
Friend of Zito.
Yeah.
He said he had a long weekend, or she said she had a long weekend.
Oh, you know what? I heard one of the tweets was from his quote from the Twitch stream. So it's got to be someone that watches the Twitch consistently.
Okay, so there's 25 people.
we're narrowing it down.
So this is guess who? Does it have a mustache? That's what just happened right there. That just happened.
That's hilarious.
Frank Morado has joined me.
Mm-hmm.
What's going on, Frank?
Happy to be here.
What's been going on in your blog world? Pretty good blogging. Do you feel like you're really in your groove there, blogging?
No, I'm getting better at it, though.
Did you expect to be a good blogger, or do you think you would suck at blogging?
I thought I would be better at blogging than on a microphone.
So you were pretty confident blogging?
I think so.
When we were in school and we had to write papers or type papers, were you good or bad at that?
I think I would consider myself a good essay writer.
So that's what a blog is, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
That's pretty much what it is?
Mm-hmm.
So you felt good coming in?
Yeah.
And you've really hit a sweet spot there? Have you got any mental blocks or anything like that?
Not really. I just try and think of shit I want to express. Do I hate this? Do I love it? Is this interesting? Is it boring? Is it terrible? Is it good?
A lot of self-reflection in there, huh?
A couple little clickbaity type titles, get people in there, trap them.
I put a clickbait title up the other day.
You have to.
Triple H's breasts. I think I'm an elite captioner. I think I'm an elite headline giver. I made a tragic flaw in the blog game.
What's that?
Fake news.
That happens. Which one was it?
Baltimore potentially legalizing murder. If it wasn't Baltimore, I think I don't fall for it.
That's very believable.
You know what I mean? I think Baltimore. When I was at Baltimore one time for a game, it was around Christmas. The mayor was getting indicted on stealing gift cards that were donated for families. So I'm just in my head. I think Baltimore. I'm like, there's a chance that Baltimore would be the first city to be like, "Yep," to the purge.
I mean, you got The Wire. You got all the old tired Ray Lewis jokes. It's all there.
All there. So I went ahead and blocked it. Got good action too. It was hot there for a little bit. Got like 40 retweets with the quickness, and I got a text from. I said to Ty, did you read this? He said, "There's no way this is real." I was like, "No, there's no way. There's no way." I did a little bit more research. Turns out, the city of Baltimore is not actually the city of Baltimore's Facebook account. Baltimore should get on that. There's an account with 26,000 followers tweeting out. They're the Onion for the city of Baltimore. Yes. You would have never expected, but I got had by him. It's like an Adam Scheffmer.
Yeah.
He
gets get me.
Mort Anderson too. Mort was struggling there for a while with
like a good old Barry McCockner.
Yep, Barry McCockner.
I don't know who that is, but yeah,
he's a big time troll. He changes his Twitter avi and profile, and he's very good at it.
I just followed him actually.
Iris, is it awesome?
He hits everybody. He does NFL insiders. He does Woj. He hits them all.
It's awesome, huh?
Yeah.
That's a good little gimmick to have on the internet.
Oh yeah.
So what's your gimmick on the blog? Hockey? I saw too much hockey.
A lot of hockey.
We're trying to move the needle in this blog. Ty, you're the editor of this thing. You're just letting this guy just blog about things that nobody cares about.
I mean, if you're gonna give me full control to take blogs down, then that's another discussion.
What if there's a full-on process to get the blog up? It has to go through Ty, then it has to go through me, then it has to go through Tim McAfee. Then it has to
I still feel good about my chances. I mean, have you seen half the shit Connor's blogged?
I haven't actually. I have not watched a single thing. I have not read a single thing that Connor has blogged until the other day. He told me he's an NBA blogger.
Yeah.
Now, all of a sudden. I have a guy from Boston who's a white guy from Boston who never played basketball is an NBA blogger now.
I'm pretty sure those picks he said on your show, I think he was 0-3.
He was.
Yeah.
Well, he said he's batting 50-50 right now because he picked up 3 other bets that nobody knew about. Of course. Of course. No, but I haven't read a lot of his. I read a couple of yours, though. You got good stuff in there.
Thanks, man.
Real thinkers.
In fairness, there was a lot going on in the hockey world the past couple days.
Mm-hmm. Hockey's starting to stir up some drama. That Uber driver
You
thing.
never see stuff like that.
No, that Uber driver thing was crazy.
What did you think of that?
I just don't. You can't trust it. You literally can't. You said it in the blog, and I am a very paranoid person. I think that is something probably not a lot of people know. I think that would be some. I'm a very paranoid person. You don't see me really do much.
I would just say you're on guard.
At all times.
Yes. Yeah.
I've worked very hard to get.
Because you've seen a lot of shit.
Well, I've worked very hard to get here, and I've seen a lot of people just get absolutely ruined for very dumb things.
People taken advantage of.
Yes, and I'm like, let's just stay away from that. That's why I don't do the financial advisor thing. I don't do that. I don't talk to a lot of people I don't know. I mean, I'll talk to people, small talk. Let's have a conversation. Let's go. But there ain't no real conversations happen with people I don't know anymore because you can't do it. You just can't do it.
Right.
And this is kind of what happened with those hockey guys. That Uber guy was definitely stirring the pot, too. He was trying to get them to open up.
Big time scumbag move. Their first mistake was legitimately telling them who they were. Yeah, we play for the Ottawa Senators.
Yeah, that makes me question them,
what are you
too,
doing?
by the way. So that makes me question them, too. That's like the do you know who I am when you get arrested?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I want to ask you this.
That's an interesting thing.
Because you're very big on PR perception and analyzing things like that.
Yeah.
The way they handled it in the aftermath. They had a couple players go up and address the press afterwards, but it was none of the players that were involved in the incident.
Hey,
They put out a joint statement on the players' behalf.
that's even
from
worse.
The team.
That's even worse. It's all getting worse. It's all getting worse.
Then they played the game and they dummied some team. They won 7-3. Had a big night.
Good coaching.
And then finally, a couple of guys answered questions afterwards in the locker room.
Yeah, I think the guys just have to go up there and talk. Yeah, we were drunk and we were talking shit on our coach. This is a very standard situation. This is Pee-wee football. This is Pee-wee hockey, high school hockey. At some point, the coach is going to get shit talked by his players, and as long as the players respond to him, who cares? I think I think in the face of any adversity, you'd go. Yeah. when faced with any adversity, you go head first right at it. You go, I think you have to own it and keep it moving. And I'm only saying that because I think it shows like a human side to people as opposed to a robot side of people. Like whenever you're, I don't know what they said. I assume it was some written prepared statement, whatever. You don't look like a human there. But if you were to go up there and say, yeah, I shit talked the coach. Well, we didn't get along. I mean, but I still respect him. This was just a joking situation. I think people respect it more than saying, we did not know we were being recorded, obviously, and it's a private conversation. I assume they said. I didn't read
Pretty
it.
much, yeah. I mean, that was just we didn't know we were being recorded, and you said it. It just when you assume that you're being recorded at all times.
Yes. I do, by the way. Anytime I'm in Indiana, I just assume somebody has a camera on me, and it's only because it's cool. It's very cool that people know me, but people won't say hi to me, but they'll tweet a picture of me.
Yep.
And it's very interesting. It's like, oh, I'm being watched right now. Like, I didn't know that guy was there that took a picture of me from right next to me and then tweeted it to me. Oh, didn't want to interrupt you, but and I'm like, oh, that kind of makes me think, oh, you're just watching me. It's my mom used to track where I was just by following my mentions, just like, oh, just saw Pat walking through the Circle Center Mall, just saw Pat walking downtown, just saw this, and my mom would be like, oh, okay, and then I'd show up late to something, I'd be like, oh, I'm sorry, and she's like, oh, really? Aren't you just at Circle Center fucking Mall? I'm like, oh, well, how did you know that? You're like, oh, well, fucking at J.R. Rice, just saw you down there, didn't want to interrupt you. I'm like, yeah, and that was when everything started changing for me. I will say that.
And I mean, that's kind of society in a nutshell right now. There's no privacy really anymore. You do something stupid, you're going to end up, if it's recorded, you're going to end up on someone's meme account.
Yep.
Being made a fool of. What are you going to do?
Richard Sherman, first day of training camp, gets cooked. Can't even practice anymore. He's viral on the internet for getting absolutely demolished.
Yep.
And now they show the check down shows highlights of guys just getting beat. They're like, oh, don't play with what's his face. But they don't. They fail to recognize that there's somebody on the other side of that. And like maybe in the game, it just gets kind of glossed over. Now it's like if you get embarrassed, it's out there. It is. The internet can't wait for it. And it's, I think you just got to be woke. I think you just got to be woke and just know that it's going to happen to you, though. Like at some point, you're going to get caught.
Like we all agree it shouldn't. That conversation shouldn't have been recorded. It was a scumbag move. But it was. So what are you going to do in the aftermath of it? How do you face that moving forward? You have to be prepared for that moving forward.
They just won a bunch.
More and more common.
They won a game, I guess.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome. But no, you just can't talk around people you don't know. I think that's kind of rules number 1 through 10, by the way. If you're doing anything of importance, you can't talk around people you don't know. Just like all these, watch Dateline. You know, all these murderers, they get caught because they tell people. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You just got to do it with everything in your life now. Just can't tell anybody anything that you don't know.
We had a conversation a few weeks back. You asked if we talk to Uber drivers. This is why I don't.
You don't talk to Uber drivers?
No. Get in the back seat.
Small talk, bro. You just have small talk.
If they started off and they're asking interesting shit, I will engage. But I'm not going to be the one like, hey, how's your day going? How's your drive going?
Good question for the next Uber driver, so you can just have a conversation with them. Did you think Joe Donnelly had a chance? That could be your question.
Literally my worst nightmare. Couldn't care less what they think or what they have to say.
Bro, there's a new thing on Uber that tells you what they want to talk about.
Yeah.
Really? Is there a no option? Just
I think there is. I think you can tell them that you don't want to talk.
There
I think it is. But there is a thing like subjects to ask about. I think I saw in my life. I was just dying laughing.
Great with art conversations.
History. This one guy was history. So I obviously went in. I asked about Noah. That's a history. Tell me about what you know about Noah, cuz. How deep into history books do you go? Do you know about the first ever recorded blackout? I'd like to hear about it.
See, I guess that's the trick, is the small talk where you avoid personal topics and you're just talking about
the Zito talk.
Yeah, that's literally life in general. Yeah, that's life in general.
That's why I hate it.
We send Zito to the front every single time, and he loves it.
Oh, absolutely. I like it. I get intrigued by that stuff too.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I very much enjoy it.
I love watching someone else do it. I just don't want to be involved in it. I want to observe.
So what are you gonna do? You're gonna do hockey talk
right now?
Yeah, just hockey talk. What else? You do tech stuff? I assume there's some tech stuff.
Oh yeah. In terms of blogging, I'm gonna do a little bit of everything. I think I want to do some football stuff too, but I don't want to cuck Diggs. I did a movie thing today.
That
I didn't
is
want to
something
cuck
that
Ty.
happens, huh? I guess everybody has their own like little.
Yeah, kinda. That's why. I mean, that's just how you don't want it to get watered down with everyone writing about the same shit.
Well, it's like you never know what you're going to have an opinion on that day either, right? You come in, you see what's going on in the world, and you're like, oh, okay, I have something to say
I have
here.
an opinion on a CBD shop we went to today.
Exactly.
Bro, CBD is legal in Indiana. Awesome news.
And I knew it as oil. I didn't know it was nugs.
I had no idea.
We had
dry herb.
This guy, it's flour, he calls it.
Yeah.
We bought CBD flour over there that smells exactly like weed, smokes exactly like a bonfire, and does absolutely nothing to you.
Just made me tired. That was it.
It doesn't. But he has a lot of CBD over there, relaxing bears. I'm a big CBD guy for my joints, so I was excited for this store that's right by us. Go to check out, $572 later. I was like, what?
That was absurd.
Absurd. Had to pay for it though.
You don't really have an issue with dropping a few hundos, but
The guy said $572, and there was a full conversation that started amongst the group. It was me, Diggs. Who else was over there? Ty. You,
Connor.
Yeah,
and Connor. And as soon as the guy said that, me and Diggs were like, what?
I thought he was joking.
Because there's no price tags on anything. So it was like, you get up there, it was like show and tell almost. Like, oh, ding, 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 ding. Yeah, that's $175. What? Was there a heads up anywhere that I missed? No, that's natural flower that we grew in the backyard. No THC, only CBD. It's like, whoa. I understand this is a new business, but maybe have return customers. I will never go back there again. They're very nice. I assume their product is very good, but there's no way I expected to pay $572.
No.
My knees,
a gas station.
My knees better be fully replaced by this stuff.
Ugh.
Yeah, at the gas station, it's like $15. I don't know if he knows he's competing against that. Like, you're not the only. I think he thought he was the only store in town. He was like, "Oh, I'm kind of the first trying to trailblaze." I'm like, no. There's a head shop that sells some CBD over in Broad Ripple. This gas station right back here that has like glass in front of the window, so you know it's in a good area.
Oh, yeah.
Like that place that sells CBD.
Well, that's like when towards the end of my years in Pittsburgh, when we were leaving, vape shops started popping up everywhere, and I'm assuming it's like that in most cities. But I don't understand how that's a sustainable model when they're selling that shit at gas stations, anyways.
It has to be a front, right? That's just literally a front. Come in the back to get to real
There were
stuff.
so many in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, they're all fronts. I assume you Italians are behind.
There weren't like cigarette stores, you know. There was a tobacco store for cigars, but that's specialty stuff. Damn. I don't know.
Maybe you should write about that.
Maybe I will.
Whenever we hear are you just miserable? Should we read it in a miserable tone, or
no? I don't
are you
think
happier
so.
on paper?
Can be.
Okay.
There's potential there.
You want to do some throwback music?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, I'm in.
Oh, yeah, this one would be like walking into the party, I feel like.
You think so?
This would be a good entrance.
Speaking of entrances, at some point in the future, I am going to be the United States champion. Okay? Basically the president.
Okay.
At some point, I'm going to be the United States champion. I'm going to will this one. This is going to be one that I'm going to really push for. Because John Cena is getting Captain America. Okay, somebody else is getting Booster Gold.
Yep.
But this United States champion, I think, really has a chance here.
That's where you're going to stake your claim.
Basically the president. It's the whole thing.
You're going to give executive orders?
Basically. Everything is basically. Okay? I'm already thinking of it. I can't wait for it. Okay? I'm gonna really push hard for this one. And what should my intro music be? I've been thinking about this a lot. Because we are closer to this potentially becoming a reality than ever before in my life. Mm-hmm. Not that it will, not that it's a lock, but this is closer to a reality than it's ever been in the history, right?
Yeah.
I'm just on a microphone now, but is there a way I can maybe weasel my way into maybe get an open mic in an arena one time? Is there a way? We'll find out. We will find out. But this is, do I go with a song that's already created? Because CM Punk, Cult of Personality,
right?
When that hits is awesome. You know what I mean?
It is, and then you kind of like craft it into yours. Like it was the band's before, but then a lot of people only know that song as CM Punk's.
Me.
Yeah.
All I know that is CM Punk's. So it's like, do I have Black Betty hit? Do I come out to Black Betty? But that is not my own thing. Black Betty's already taken.
Yeah. See, you strike me as the guy who would go in there and want to get like hands on and make the song yourself too.
I kind of want to come through the crowd too. By the way, I could basically the president, man of the people. I want to come. I want to come through the crowd, not like I would like the Sandman used to, not like the Shield does. Like
Yeah. You take your time, you enjoy it, you soak it up.
Well, and I don't want security either.
No.
I want to. Now, granted, maybe so we can guide the way there. But I want there to be a mob of humans coming to the ring at the same time.
Man of the people.
Me and the people. Basically, the president. That's the thought. So now you need music that works with that. Right, I almost see me coming out of. It could be anywhere, just like Sandman, where you didn't know where his Stinger, you had no idea where he was coming in from. I kind of enjoy that thought. Like nobody knows where I'm coming in from, but I'm coming in from the crowd. There's only one thing that is happening. It's I'm coming through the crowd somewhere, and I feel like back in the day it was a little bit more looser because there wasn't as many lawsuits. Now they probably have to keep everybody off of me because if anybody gets run over or hit, Sandman used to chug beers out there and hit himself in the head with sticks.
Smoking unfiltered cigs.
In the middle of everybody. It's like, I don't know if that
bleeding on them. He would bust his head open off those beer cans, just bleed on people.
That's what I'm saying. I wish I could do that. That's what I'm saying. Because I think the energy of the arena would be insane there, you know? It would be insane. It's just something to think about. So whenever you're thinking of music, I need you to think that. Like, oh, what should Pat's be? You know? I wouldn't mind if it had like a White Stripes bass guitar hum along with it. Because like Shinsuke Nakamura's singable.
Yeah, you want something to get the crowd completely involved. You're in the crowd, you're one of them, and then they're singing along to the song too.
Completely involved. So what I would like is I would like the potential top to get popped in every arena. That's what I would like. To potentially pop the top of every arena with everybody. Singing, a whole thing. Just need to figure it out. That's what we need. Maybe Clayton Anderson can work on a fucking song.
Good luck.
That guy. Heartland Radio has been waiting for what? 6 months. Yeah.
I mean,
guy,
honestly,
he's on a beach every fucking day. What's he doing?
Probably closer to a calendar year, to be honest with you.
You know what? Clayton Anderson, one of the most handsome and talented people we've ever heard.
Nice guy. Good time to hang out with.
He's just so big time. He's so big time now.
It's crazy.
So big time now. Can't make a couple of little. He's got a show in Pittsburgh or in Indy.
Yep, Rathskeller.
Hell yeah, gonna go to that for sure. Well, I won't, but you guys can. I might go. If it's not outside, is it inside or outside?
I don't know.
If it's inside, probably not going. Outside, I'll potentially go.
Outside's a good time.
Well, there's also escape.
Yeah.
So that's my big thing. I look for escape. I like to do the old Irish goodbye.
Of course.
This has been awesome. Gone. See you later. So think about the entrance, though.
I will. I can do some digging. I'm sure we can come up with something.
Me coming through a crowd, though, with like a big... Because the glass break on Stone Cold Steve Austin is something that is incomparable right now. There's nothing that is... But there has to be something that sets the tone.
Well, do you want the slow build or do you want the immediate hit like the Austin glass breaking?
Slow build would be cool if I'm coming out of the arena because the amount of build up you could have there. But some people would see me because I'd be walking through the arena. So that would only be like, what, 1/50th of the arena would see me. So it's not that big of a deal. But I do, maybe a slow build is the way to go. Maybe it's like pitch black in there.
Because you get like DX did it a little bit with the boom, boom. Yeah. Are you ready?
Yeah. I think maybe there's a slow. I like a piano, though.
Oh. There's a lot of elements we're pulling here.
On a piano and a bass guitar. Maybe a trumpet. Timmy. Like Timmy trumpet. You get it. Basically the president. So we got to act accordingly. You know what I mean? I can't just have some bum-ass entrance. It's got to be a good one. What if this happens, by the way? Would be hilarious.
It's a lot of moving parts, but I think we can find it.
No, well, forget that. But what if I'm just walking around with the United States Championship belt on my... Like, if I have the title on... Because I would wear it every single day. It would be my belt. It would be my actual hold-up-my-pants belt. I would somehow figure out a way to make it...
Well, you just get custom-made pants with bigger loops.
Yep.
Yes, I would. Yep. Yes, I would do that. I would be...
Custom jorts, custom jeans, big loops.
With big loops, so we could put the belt around it and even hold it up. Mm-hmm. Every day of my life, I would wear it. Every single day, I would wear it. Basically, the president. That'd be a good time. I don't know if I'm tough enough, though, to be honest. That's a good reality show that should be brought back.
I did like Tough Enough.
KFC was asking about reality shows that you would think to bring back on the Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
Tough Enough is probably the one that I'm thinking.
Yeah. I mean, what? Like, I feel like the rest of them are still on. Like Survivor, they still do that, right?
Survivor's still on. Maybe Weakest Link. We talked. Is that our considered a reality show? No, it's a game show.
Game show. Yeah.
Weakest Link though was a heater. We talked about it the other day in this office. I missed the "You're the Weakest Link" lady. Goodbye. I missed that lady. She was electric on television.
She would have did really well on the internet.
Oh,
Very well.
oh my God, she did well.
She did do well.
Deal or No Deal still happens. Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? Still
Deal or No
happens.
Deal still on?
I think so. I think it's on Game Show Network. I think that was a good show too. Howie Mandel did the 2 and 2 thing. Right back at you. He's kind of a weirdo, huh?
Yeah, big time.
What's his deal? Why is he so
Huge germaphobe.
Yeah,
I
big
know that.
germaphobe.
No, but why is he so big? Why is he over so? Like, why does he have that America's Got Talent gig?
I never understood that. I don't know. I knew him from fucking Bobby's World when we were growing
There
up.
it is. So Bobby's World led him to Deal or No Deal, which led him to America's Got
It
Talent.
seems like it. Like, I don't know what else he did in the meantime. Maybe he was touring doing stand-up or something. I don't know.
He's an enjoyable person. Like, when he speaks, I enjoy it.
Yeah.
On America's Got Talent, he just tells everybody to vote. That's all he ever says. Just vote. Terry Crews, new host of America's Got Talent, by the way.
That's a good pick.
Tyra Banks out, Terry Crews in.
It's a good pick.
Tyra felt like it felt like Tyra was just getting comfortable, to be honest. Like, very comfortable.
What happened then, do you think? Do you think she left on her own
That's what I'm saying.
accord, or you think they were like, nah, we're done?
Did Simon Cowell say no? He's the boss of the thing. Did Simon Cowell
Maybe
say
he'd had
no?
enough.
Yeah, it's going to be a no for me, for Tyra. It's going to be a no. You are disgusting. Remember back when he was in Savage on American Idol?
Oh, yeah.
He's not like that anymore. Now he's got a kid, the whole thing.
He does seem real chill now. I don't watch it often, but I catch it occasionally.
Still hilarious. I just think he lost his edge a little bit because he's so ridiculously wealthy. And I think he started selling WWE themes, by the way. I think that's how he got his start. I think WWE music somehow has the tie to Simon Cowell's start. I think.
This is real? You're not...
No, I'm being 100% serious. I think there's a tie-in between Simon Cowell and WWE music at the beginning of his career. I could be very wrong, but in my head, that is, for some reason, my brain just popped those two up.
I can tell you for a fact that WWE music is the reason I got the internet as a kid. My friend had AOL, and it was the first time I'd ever seen it, and he was downloading wrestling music, and I was like, this is the coolest thing ever. I need it. I ran home to my parents, like, we need to get the internet right now. I need it.
Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah, he started his career by creating novelty records with acts. Power Rangers was one of them, and then the WWF was the other one.
Power Rangers soundtrack, very good, too. Very underrated. It bangs.
Yeah, I can say with real conviction that I've never heard the Power Rangers soundtrack and never watched the Power Rangers. I can say that.
Yeah, we know you didn't have a childhood.
Easy.
You get taped up and balls thrown at you by your dad.
Yeah, there's a reason.
Granted, it worked. It paid off.
But yeah, there's a reason though. You know what I mean? There's life lessons being taught there that old blue fat Power Ranger can't figure out. You know what I mean? No, that was the McGillicuddies. The
Teletubbies?
there they are. Those things were hot for a while back in the day. I never watched them, but man, everybody loved those goddamn Teletubbies.
They had the sunshine with the baby's face on it.
Dude, it was huge.
I don't know how they thought of all that stuff.
Drugs.
Yeah, for sure.
Blue's Clues had to
to
be the most drugs in the history of drugs to create that show.
And the dude got caught with drugs, I'm pretty sure.
No.
Or was an addict.
I heard
Yeah,
he
he
didn't.
was.
I heard it didn't happen.
Oh, it was fake news.
Yeah, I think we found
No,
it
I
on
think he
this
did
show.
drugs. I think the rumor was that he killed himself. I think that was the fake.
Yeah, I thought he
fake
killed it.
news.
He didn't kill himself.
I'm pretty sure he was a heroin addict or something like that.
I think it was.
Bro, that
Something
drug
serious.
gets you, man. I don't know how that happens there. I don't know how that. That's a shame. It's a real shame. Artie Lang. Have you ever seen Artie Lang recently?
Yikes. He is not looking good.
We were going to New York to Sirius, and Artie Lang was blackmailing Howard Stern out of $5,000 the same day. And I just started scrolling around in Artie Lang, and I remember Artie Lang from back in the day watching the Howard Stern show
Yeah.
on E. I remember Artie from watching him on E, and I somehow landed on, because I saw like, Howard, you pay me $5,000 or everything's coming out. I thought it was a troll account. I click on it. No, it was the actual Artie Lang. And then I clicked on some pictures. I'm like, oh my God, this is like this is your brain on drugs. That should be the campaign there. That should be the commercial. It's not weed doing that, right?
No, he's had a
Good
really
news. That's
hard
really
couple
good.
years.
That's really good news. That's really good news. That's really good news. I was worried that old CBD for $570 is going to turn me into that.
I don't think
Why
so.
do people do it?
It's not enough. You need more. Moderation is the key to everything.
Go on.
So you either can accept and live within the limits that you set for yourself, or you can't.
Oh, this is some deep philosophical shit.
Well, like they call weed a gateway drug, and it's only a gateway drug if you feel like you need more. Some people are very content just to smoke marijuana. Other people,
They call it a gateway drug because I would assume if you're willing to do heroin, you're willing to smoke weed. Right? So let's say 100%.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's where you start.
100% of people who have done heroin, I assume, have also smoked weed.
Very likely.
I would
that's
assume.
The case, yeah.
If you're willing to.
It's a very assumable thing.
Yes. So saying it's a gateway drug is very interesting because that would say that marijuana leads to that. That's what gateway would mean, right? Gateway
Yes.
would mean leads to. And I don't think that's the case.
Well,
at
I'm
all.
sure it does for some people.
But stats can spin however you want.
Right.
Yeah. Like if you do heroin, I assume you drink alcohol as well.
At some point, you have drank alcohol.
Yes.
I've drank a lot of alcohol. I smoked a lot of weed, and I've never felt the desire or urge or need to do heroin.
Same.
Let's put that on record and send it to the FDA.
You ever taking pain pills?
Print it.
Oh, you ever taking pain pills?
Yeah.
Done
Are you on
heroin.
pain? Are you on pain pills right now because of your clavicle?
No.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Why not?
There's a difference, though, Todd.
Wait.
Oh yeah, believe me, I know.
Wait, why aren't you?
Why am I not what?
Why aren't you on pain pills?
They gave me Tylenol with codeine in it, and it didn't really
Scissor? Did you make some lean? Did you codeine the lean?
crush it up, pour it in there, a little Sprite.
Did you do that?
Like my Sprite Easter Pink?
Yeah,
No.
double cupped.
No.
I've tried it before.
I still have it. I've been slinging it to the dudes on the street out here.
Good move because I understand what it put me to bed.
Oh yeah, you go bye.
Put me to bed immediately. There was like a kid from Houston on our team. His friend came into town for a weekend. They're like, "Oh, we got this. We got lean. We got lean. We got lean." Had the whole party over there. Everybody was asleep in 25 minutes. Everybody was dead. Best sleep. I woke up 5 hours later and I was like, holy shit. I felt like I was in that couch right there. And then I peeled my roommate out of there and we're like, let's get out of here. I can understand why people enjoy a very comfortable state of mind. Very, very comfortable state of mind. I don't know how it would do with your clavicle, but.
It didn't really. I feel like it didn't really do that much for me. I was taking like max strength Tylenol, and it was doing the same thing.
I would assume the carbonation does something to it. I would assume that there's some reason why they mix. I don't know why. There has to be something that cooks. I don't know.
So you were just drinking it when you did it, just like drinking dirty Sprite.
Yeah.
Okay. Have you ever done it on like a blunt or something like that?
No.
I've done that.
That is
Same
man.
result. You'll be in
Yeah.
bed by 20 minutes.
Done for.
Dude. So why does everybody? It's probably because.
Well, it's
a lot of people like codeine probably because they relax your joints.
Yeah.
So that's why they get addicted to the relaxing feeling. Is that what it is?
Yeah, it's uppers and downers. Everyone has their own little kick and whatever triggers them and what they need to feel good.
Yeah, but lean was rapped about in every rap song for a decade. A decade. And I'm like, man, these guys are sleeping good. These guys are sleeping really good. I only tried it one time though, and I was out. See you later. Great sleep. If I ever can't sleep, I'm not going to go the Michael Jackson route. I'm going to go the lean route probably, if I had to guess. People are using the Michael Jackson was using the surgery shit, right?
Same thing though. Yeah, he probably started out using a little bit, built up a tolerance to it, wasn't getting the same fix, and then kept.
You think Michael Jackson ever drank alcohol? Let's go back to your stat right now. We go back to your stat right now. You think Michael Jackson ever drank alcohol?
For sure.
He strikes me as a big wine guy.
Yeah, he was giving it to kids. I don't think he was out there like ripping shots, but I think he enjoyed himself a couple cocktails.
I guess he was spending like something like $60,000 a day or something.
Jesus.
I watched this one like documentary piece on him. It was like a behind the music piece or whatever. And he was just pointing at things and buying them on camera. It was like the statue of an elephant. It was like 40 grand. He was like, yeah, I want that. And it was just showing up at his house. You go in his house and it looked like a fucking museum of things that are just like artifacts, collectibles. It's like, this guy is, what a wild life.
That's what happens when you have no one to tell you no in life and no checks and balances and no moderation. You just do shit like that. Then the next thing you know, you're drugging yourself to fall asleep until you die.
Joe Jackson gets a lot of blame.
Well, yeah, abusive childhood will do that too.
I'm scared to be a dad. What if my kid's a fucking lunatic? What do you do? He's going to suck. My kid's going to suck. I know that. He's going to be an active little fucker. He's going to be annoying. He's going to talk a lot. I know what's coming. And then what if he's a lunatic, though? What do I do with a little lunatic? Hey, stop. What, is that what I'm supposed to say? I don't think that's going to work. And I'm going to quit on him. I know it. Be a deadbeat dad. I know what's going to happen.
Patience is tough with children.
So you're a single man.
Yeah.
You're 30.
2.
Have you ever been in a situation where you've had to think about marriage and kids? I am in it. I want to let you know I am in it right now. I am in this situation where I have to think about it, and it's wild. This is a very wild thing. The thought of reproducing might be the most scary thing I've ever had in my life.
I don't even think you should even think about thinking about it for another 10 years.
I agree with you. Hey, I agree with you.
You get shit to do.
Hey, I would like to be comfortable first before we get this kid to be comfortable in this world. As soon as you have a kid, you give up all your dreams. All your dreams and hopes go right to that kid. Yep. That seems to be the way it goes. Unless you want to be a bad dad.
All your insecurities and doubt also. You just download right into that kid's brain. Congrats, kid. Here you go.
I didn't even think about that. That's a very hilarious thought that Nick would have that I would never have in my entire life. But yeah, I've been thinking about this stuff. Like, I'm almost an adult now. I'm thinking about my next comedy set being called Almost an Adult. Like, here I am. I'm almost an adult. Plunging toilets now, changing out fucking AC units, water coolers, redoing the floors, stain washing shit. I'm almost an adult. I got to think about this stuff. It's crazy. It's like at night I can't sleep because I'm either thinking of something we should do here, and then as soon as that subsides, it's like, imagine if there was a kid here. Your life would suck. And it's like, well, that's right around the corner, I think. And then it's another 2 hours of me just thinking of how terrible my kid's going to be. And how I'm never going to win a Dad of the Year award. So why are we even thinking about it? And then by that time, it's 2:33 a.m. Can't sleep. Might as well just stay up. Here we are, back in the office tomorrow morning. It's a never-ending cycle. These kids are ruining my life before they even come into my life. It's a nightmare.
How am I going to rip up the sidewalks on an electric scooter if I got a kid? I get hurt, but I can't take care of myself for the kid.
Yeah, you got to make up a lie about what happened. Daddy stopped a robbery. You got to make up some lie so the kid thinks you're good.
It's tough.
It's like Todd had Gator back here. I don't even know.
Well, you see how that turned out.
That's what I'm saying. Like Todd and him are like boys. Like it's not like Todd's his dad. It's like Todd's his boy. Like they're boys with each other.
The first time I heard him, they were interacting, and he called him Todd. I almost had a heart attack. If I ever called my dad Steve, he would knock every single one of my fucking teeth out in the snap of a finger.
Hey Tim, why don't you and Steve fucking go talk to each other?
Oh my God,
it would be interesting. But that's how Todd and Bailey are like boys, like friends. It's like, oh, maybe that would be what I do with my kid. And then I'm like, oh, but fuck, I got to teach him some discipline because Sam's not going to. Sam's just going to give this thing everything it needs, everything it could possibly want. So it's like, well, then do I have to be the asshole for 18 years? Do I have to be an asshole to one person? Oh, nightmare. I think I'm going to, by the way. I've decided.
Kid?
No, I think I'm going to be
tough, stern.
I think I'm going to be
a prick.
For the first 10 years of his life, I think I'm going to be pretty stern.
He'll appreciate it down the road.
Yeah.
It's going to be a rough time.
So you're going one? Single child route?
Yeah, for sure.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. Make him a spoiled little fuck. What I think is I should go broke so he has to grow up with, like, hey, kid, listen, we're all hungry now, okay? So keep working. Yeah, because we used to be rich and it was a lot of fun. So you work hard so we can do that again. That would be fun. 18 years from now. This is an 18-year investment in you. Because what happens, I'm going to want to give my kid everything.
Probably.
So then he's just a spoiled
Very hard to fight that urge.
Yeah. It's just this was 1 a.m. to about 1:45 a.m. 2 nights ago. This one right here. Like, how am I not going to spoil my kid so then he's a soft bitch forever? Not that bitch is a bad thing. Well, it is. It's a female dog.
I think you can spoil him, and I think it's just the parenting still comes in. Like I have a feeling you'll know when it's like, all right, I got to crack the whip on this little fucker.
Yeah, it's like Foxy,
Yep.
Yeah, Foxy's like my child.
You've done pretty well.
You're like my child, Foxy. You're like my child. But you already know how to pee and poop and stuff.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, he was a head start. He was like adopted, basically.
Yeah, which, by the way, adopt, don't shop if you're looking for animals. And we almost ended up with 2 more dogs this past weekend because of Sam's fucking lunatic.
Jeez.
It's lunatic stuff. I think I'm going to be at Purdue on Sunday. I think I'm going to be at Purdue.
For?
Their dance marathon. I think I'm going to be at their dance marathon on Sunday. Pretty cool. I get invited to these literally every year. The IU, Ball State, everybody does these dance marathons because they raise a ton of money. It's really cool watching these colleges come together. And every year I get a bunch of tweets about me coming to different colleges ones. And I've always felt like If I go to one, I have to go to the mall. And also, I'll just donate from remote. So it's like,
Yeah.
which I've donated to, I think, every single dance marathon in the state so far as like a donation thing. On Sunday, though, there's something really cool happening at Purdue, and I'm going for it. So maybe this will start the dance marathon. Does that make sense? I'll start going to all of them.
Maybe you just go to a different one each year.
That's what I'm saying. I think that's what happens.
Yeah.
Because this will be my first time really getting to see because the amount of money they raise is
It's
insane.
incredible.
It's incredible.
I did it 3 years at Iowa. It's awesome.
It is.
Yeah.
It's so cool. It's like a thing where these millennials are bashed a lot,
Right.
but they come together and just raise a ton of money for cancer research, I believe is what it is.
Yep, MTK for the kids.
For the kids. It's everywhere. It's cross country now. And I'm excited to go to Purdue and see this one. I'm excited to see how it all works and stuff like that because it's magic. The amount of money raised there is huge. The Plum Telethon. Remember those?
Yeah, I was supposed to run one, produce one basically, but I got in-school suspension like 2 days before it happened. So the vice principal told me I was lucky to even have my name in the credits.
Casella.
Yeah.
Why'd you get
That
suspended?
guy's the best.
Piece of shit.
That guy's the best.
We were messing around with my one buddy, and it was like joking, and I pushed him.
Oh, boy.
Just like not locker room, but like high school hallway bullshit.
Yeah.
And when I pushed him, my other friend stuck his foot out and tripped him. And he fell.
Classic. Schoolboy.
He fell, and he got a little cut on his head.
Oh.
Nothing bad.
Blood. Bleeds his
But
own
he bled.
blood.
Yeah, but he bled.
Sounds like a standard bully move to me.
He
man.
went home. His mom freaked out, called the school, and me and my friend were in school for the next
You were
3
friends
days.
with the kid?
Yeah.
And his mom called on you?
Yeah.
It's wild times. Oh, you got any throwback songs? Maybe I'll do one more. Nope. I'm done. Well, I'm done. Well, all right, I'm done. That was it. Craig Carton, does he think he thinks he could have got away with that?
Apparently.
So what was he doing? He was just selling fake tickets to people?
I think so, yeah.
45 years in jail for selling fake tickets to people?
That's a long time.
Bro, that's forever. That's
Yeah.
the rest of his life. 45 years is the rest of his life. Well, let's say good time, right? There was 2 days for one good day or whatever. So each day counts as 2. So it's 22 and a half years. He's what? Going to be 68 when he gets out?
For fake tickets?
For fake tickets.
I think I read somewhere that they said they expect him to serve 5 to 10 years of it.
Oh, still.
Yeah.
Still.
Right.
How does he think he's getting away with that, though? That's my big thing. Like, how do these people think they're going to get away with this shit that they do?
And what made it such a big deal that it was 45 years?
I guess it was $4
Just
million
so long?
worth of
Yeah.
tickets. It was a Ponzi scheme. So what's it? So Ponzi schemes are you get people's money and then you return other people's money, but while collecting other people's money. So
Right.
the Ponzi scheme, I don't know how you do it with tickets. I don't know how you do it with tickets. I have no idea how you do it. But a Ponzi scheme with money is you are a financial advisor. And I come up to you, Evan Fox, and I go, I will guarantee you 20% return on your investment 1 year from now. You're like, that sounds good. You give me $1 million. So what do I owe you? I owe you $200,000 at least back in a year from now. 20%, right? I need that. So I'll pay you out 20% for the next 5 years of your money, but 6 years, so we get your money back plus 20% in a 6-year thing. So you get an extra $200,000 in 6 years, right? So then I have $1 million from you.
Yep.
I know I'm paying you $200,000 at the end of this year. So what do I actually have? I have $800,000 from you.
Oh, right.
Okay, so now I have $800,000 from you. So then I go to Ty. I go, Ty, I'll give you 20% back on your money. For the next 6 years, you'll end up making 20%. He gives me $1 million. I'm going to give him $200,000 at the end of the year. So what do I have? I have $800,000.
Yep.
So now I have $1.6 million to fuck around with, and you both have the 20% return. Then I have to go to another person. So you just have to keep
Jesus.
adding people. So you have to keep adding. That's the only way it works is if you keep adding people. It's a shell game.
Yep.
You just move the shell until you run out of shells. Then that's when people get fucked over. Then
done.
that's when it all comes crashing down. That's why you see Ponzi schemes are up for like 200 million.
Yep.
Because the only way you can continue to do is if you keep going. Because you got to keep collecting other people's money so you're robbing Peter to pay Paul, and then you're doing that again with Paul with Peter, with Peter with Paul. You're doing that. So I don't know how you would do it with tickets. I don't know how that
Right.
applies to tickets. I was approached to be a part of a Ponzi scheme house selling thing, where this one guy would buy and sell the same houses to numerous investors. He would just have to get a new. So he would tell me, he actually took me to a house to look at. He was like, we can buy this house right now, $115,000. I promise in 1 month we can sell it for $125,000. I won't do any of the signing fees. We'll just make a quick 10 grand. You give me 20%, 30%, whatever, boom, boom, boom. And I was like, that sounds like a genius idea, right? So then I was listening to a conversation that was happening, and the closing company mentioned that they had sold that house to him like a month before that. So whoever he made the same deal with to me, so that house was $115,000, we'll sell it for $125. He said that to somebody else, we'll sell it for $105. We'll sell it for $115 in a month from now. Does that make sense? So he was just, whoever was the next one was going to buy it for $125 for that house, and I would have got the $10,000 from that. Jeez. And then he was going to move me to another house, and then to another house, and then to another house. And then at the end of the day, somebody misses out. So at the end, somebody is out, and then that person is the person that causes the problem. That's what causes the investigation. It's all over. That happens all the time.
What's the end game, though?
They just keep collecting. The end game is
you just have to have fishes that keep coming.
You have to, you have to keep collecting. You have to keep, like the financial advisors that do it just money. They have to keep acquiring clients. They have to keep, like, you have to at a rapid rate because you're owing everybody money. Because your numbers actually have to be pretty good because you have to pay back everybody the percentage that you told them, 15%, 20%, and then the rest of it you just enjoy with your life. And it's just like keeping up with paying everybody the 15% that they want.
Yeah, it's like exactly what happened with Bernie Madoff. He had like $1.6 billion in a Ponzi scheme, and then eventually, like, people started coming back and like, "Hey, I gave you a lot of money. I want it back." He's like, "It doesn't exist."
Yeah, you can't find it because they weren't able to acquire new clients. But if you can acquire new big money people, you can keep it going forever. Tim Durham is the guy here in Indiana. He had to run up for a few $100 million. It's like Ponzi schemes are everywhere. That guy in Miami who was
Nevin Shapiro.
Yep, he was a big Ponzi scheme guy who was flaunting his money everywhere.
So these guys have no intentions to get like broken off someday and actually pay the people back.
No. Their intentions are strictly to collect people's money and move money around. They go from yachts and thoughts though to two hots and a cot though very quickly. As soon as that ends, it all comes crashing down very quickly. Their lives are just so extravagant. You see it on Greed.
I see.
Greed. The show Greed has it all the time. It's awesome to watch. So I don't know how this guy did it with ticketing. I don't know how you would Ponzi scheme ticketing. I don't understand that. Maybe buying tickets. I'll be able to sell these tickets for this price. I don't know how you would do it. I don't know how it's a Ponzi scheme. If it's fake tickets, it's fake tickets. But I always thought a Ponzi scheme was moving money from one place to another.
I always thought too, like, he's such a public figure in New York. Like, if you listen to the radio, you know who he is. So it was going to come crashing down eventually.
I don't understand it. I don't fully understand it. The financial advisors, I can see where because financial advisors at the end of the day, they love money. That's why they're around money, right?
Yeah.
So you can see where they would be like, oh, this is an easy way to collect. Like in the situation with you two, that's $1.6 million that I'm getting. And if I get one more person, I'll be able to pay you guys out for the next 3-4 years without even having to worry about it. And I just got this asinine amount of cash just right in my pocket. It'd be very, very difficult to be a straight and narrow financial advisor whenever you're talking about those millions and millions of dollars, I think. Now, granted, that's what they're paid to do. That's their job. But you could see how Ponzi schemes get started because once it gets started, you can't stop.
Literally like that.
Literally, once it starts, you can't stop.
Yeah.
It is something you commit to a life, and if you continue to make it move for years and years, decades. Some people do it for decades, and they never get caught until one shell game is missing. One shell is missing. Then you're fucked. It's the way it goes.
45 years.
Well, and I think it works too because at the start, like they're only going after big fish. So it's like they're like, hey, it's going to take some time for you to see this return on investment. They're like, okay, well that's fine. No big deal.
Have patience with your money too. But Bernie Madoff, I think, was going after like middle class families.
Oh
too.
yeah, big time.
Yeah, like he was scrounging everybody,
taking people's like nest eggs and stuff like that.
Everybody's money. He got in where he started to have to collect like middle class people money. You go a big suit and you're like, I invest billions of dollars. Just take advantage of like Tim and Sally McAfee. My parents finally get some money somehow, and this Bernie Madoff guy comes in. He's wearing a suit. He's like, I invest billions of dollars. I return 15% every single year on the cash. I've done it for the last 25 years. You can count it. Then they just hand over all their money, and that shit's gone.
It's a fucking wild way to live.
They made a movie about
terrible
him
humans,
on
man.
HBO. Horrible. It was incredibly interesting. It It was awesome. De Niro played him. It was great.
This Craig Carton guy is probably going to be a movie, I assume, huh?
You would think. I mean, that's a wild story.
Wild story. 45 years in fucking jail? How much money is he making being on WFAN? That has to be a pretty good
Probably
paycheck.
a decent chunk. Yeah, I mean, it was him and Boomer Esiason. They were like the top show on, when Francesa was gone. That's what everyone was listening to.
Him and Diggs have the same degenerate. We need to keep our eye. We need to keep our eye on Diggs. It seems like he's a losing gambler. That's where this money comes from.
Yep.
Gambling debts will get you. That'll get people. Gambling debts get people. That's where there was a kid in my high school. Everybody's heard the story.
Yeah.
He thought he was going into a porn. Turns out it was only a guy there. They told him they pay him double. He had a gambling debt. Took the cash. Sucked the guy's dick on film. Got out of his gambling debt though. Got out of his gambling debt, and then that just hit the ground running. It's like people with these gambling debts are insane. Now on the alternative, whenever you gamble with MyBookie and you bankrupt them, it's like, okay, are they sucking dick to pay me?
Could be.
They need to.
Or a Ponzi scheme.
Or more, they might be robbing some other book to pay Pat. Because I am on a heater right now. I am in a good spot. Speaking of today at 11 or at noon, we'll say it's at noon.
Yep.
Get your bet in by 11:55. I am bowling.
Can't wait.
Can't wait. Get your bets in.
You've said before, either it's a 160 or it's a 60.
It's one or the other. I have zero consistency in bowling. I could roll a 50.
Yeah.
I could roll a 180 though. It's all about the oil patterns, obviously. How do you know the oil patterns?
You got to have your ball on your wrist glove.
Exactly. I watch PBA. I mean, we all watch PBA. But yeah, I could be a gutter ball machine, or I could throw up 7 X's straight if we have to. It's literally a complete guessing game. Today at noon, get your bets in mybookie.ag. There's a bunch of bets there, and there's a gambling on Diggs' drinking ability. Diggs is not known for a chugger, by the way. There's a bottle of beer chug over or under 14 and a half seconds. That seems like an eternity.
It's a long time.
But Diggs is not a chugger.
I never see Diggs drink beer either.
True.
He's always drinking, vodka, water, vodka
Mixies.
Sprite. Yeah, he's always on the
Mixies.
Mixies.
Always on the beta Mixies. I'll be excited to see what he has to come up with. I think he'll get the under there just because a beer on the shirt will be beer in the mouth is what he'll say.
Absolutely.
There'll be a lot. I bet you there'll be a lot of discrepancy on that.
It's a big pride thing, too.
My bookie might have to pay people back for bets because Diggs just dumps it all over himself. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
I think Diggs will just
A lot of pressure on the moment.
A lot of pressure.
Just trying to send it back.
So do we do that before the bowling or after the bowling?
Maybe it kicks off the bowling.
Okay, here's the prop bet of the day. Diggs' thing, and then we go right into the bowling.
Yep.
I'm rolling a full game.
10 of them.
10 frames.
10 frames. 10 frames. Will I get a double? That's 2 strikes.
Okay.
That's a bet. Will I get over 130 is a bet? Will I get over 100 is the main bet, though. I think we're pretty healthy over 100.
I think so, too.
I think we'll be pretty healthy over 100.
It's
120, though. That 115 to 120 is that's a huge jump for us amateur bowlers.
What I like is that you get 10 in a row. You don't have to wait for your group. So I think you'll find a rhythm.
Okay.
Yeah, I've never bowled that way.
Really?
I've never bowled where you get to throw 10 in a row by yourself.
So when you go with like your group of friends, everybody is in a strict order.
Yeah, we take turns.
You live by the authority of bowling.
That's
like
what-
you never throw for a friend.
That's how the thing works. Evan and then Ty would be up, and then Pat would be up.
You are just you would just do whatever anybody tells you to do.
I follow the rules.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
So you've never rolled for your friend?
I have.
You've
but
never rolled like
then-
your
but
friends go to the bathroom and you don't just roll for all
Oh,
of them?
absolutely. But when you got money on the line, then
Sounds like you're backpedaling right now.
No, that's just how it goes now.
I don't know.
You're saying you've thrown 10 in a row.
I assume at some point in my life, like I had no patience for the people that were going to the bathroom, and you roll for, or my group of friends would quit very often. I mean, it would be like frame 5. They're like, we're here for the beer. Anyways. Like, I'll roll for you, but yeah, I'm assuming that happened.
Huh. I guess I just follow the rules.
That's why you're Evan Fox.
Mm-hmm. People would say that.
Michigan State does not follow the rules. There's a golden rule that they chose not to follow for a long, long time.
No.
Wow.
I think
Go green.
Go white.
Racist.
We're past that.
Yeah. Today's show flew by.
It really did.
Today's show flew by. These conversations, I've been sitting in this chair for like the last 2.5, 3 hours, and I haven't even noticed because it's so smooth. The conversations have been so smooth. Whether it's Pat Anger calling me from the credit union, Tom McComas coming in here, Diggs and I chatting, Connor and Evan and I with basketball, Nick with some throwback jams. Everything's so smooth. Whenever something happens and you don't even realize it really makes life better.
It's nice.
Like, for instance, whenever I put my Ridge wallet in my pocket, I don't even know it's there because it's so small, so smooth, so compact. I don't even know what's happened. I used to have a wallet that I had for years and years, and I put it in my back pocket. It was like something I cherished. I'm going to keep everything in this one wallet forever. It was like my thing. And then every time I stood up, now that I'm getting older, my hips were out of whack. The things were all discombobulated down there in the wall. Anytime I pulled it out, I had to dig through the shitty leather that was torn apart. And then Ridge wallet showed up at our office. And this wallet is a steel front pocket wallet that has made access to all my cards and cash quicker, and also comfort of the wallet being in my pocket much easier. I wear tight pants. I think the majority of the world has tighter fit pants these days. Yep. And when a wallet is big and bulky and annoying, it's very obvious. It can kind of get in your way. This Ridge wallet slips right in the front pocket, keeps everything in there, and it also has that thing where they can't steal your shit.
Yeah, the IRF protector.
That thing. I don't know if that's the proper.
It might not be.
I don't know if that's it. But there is those things to protect so nobody can steal your Social Security. I very much recommend this Ridge wallet. It's a minimal front pocket wallet that's designed to let you ditch your bulky wallet. That's very nice of them for setting you up like that for success.
The future. We
had Ridge wallet at one point in the office. We never got to experience it.
Never saw it.
Never.
Not once.
Not once. But this time, the entire office has them, and we love them. Get 10% off today with free worldwide shipping by going to ridgewallet.com/Pat. That's RIDGEWALLET.com/PAT. And use code PAT to get your Ridge wallet today. You will not regret it. #Endgang, #Endgame. Go ahead and show me something you want to buy with all that money you're going to put in that Ridge wallet. Let's have a good one. We'll give away a 20% discount to the PatMcAfeeShow.com store, which will have a 20% discount already on Black Friday. So if you get a 20% off, I think you're only paying like probably 64% of what a price is. Mm-hmm. Is that right?
Sounds about right.
I think it is. I actually think that is right because 20% off would be 80%, and 20% off of 80% is 16%. 16% minus 80 minus 16% is what? 64%.
64.
So you could potentially be buying the greatest ugly Christmas sweaters that we've ever put out. All of our T-shirts, plus new products we are releasing at 64%. If you send an incredible photo of what we should spend our money on that's in our Ridge wallet, or what you will spend your saved money on from the PatMcAfeeShow.com website, with your Ridge wallet. We appreciate that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, good luck finding that deal anywhere else.
64% they're paying? I don't even think we'll lose money, by the way.
Probably.
We will lose, which is good. I would like to give away the whole company. Mm-hmm. Our CFO, Phil, hates it.
Yeah, he hates it.
Phil hates it.
It's a small business.
We're a small business.
We got to make money.
That's what Phil thinks. But for me, let's just have a good time here.
Yeah.
Let's move the merch.
Make everyone happy.
I will let you know this. That this small business thing has become very interesting because Phil, best friend since kindergarten, a CFO, he retired from being a CPA to do this full time. He's got 3 kids and a wife. He very much wants our company to make money. I very much just want to give it away. So this is going to be an interesting relationship as we see this build. And I can't wait to give you 20% off 20%. So you're only paying 64% of everything on Black Friday. You send in something awesome that makes me, Ty, Foxy, Todd, Diggs, Gator there, Nick laugh. I'll be excited to see it. And other than that, Ty Schmidt, hit the music.